All right, folks, welcome to the MJ Morning Show. Fester, you can't grab the mic and move it all around when I'm coming on the air.
I didn't know we're on yet. My apologies.
Welcome, folks. 6 o'clock at the MJ Morning Show here on Q105 on a Wednesday morning. Hey, you saw who got a $250,000 bonus, didn't you? $250,000.
Wow. Good for him.
You know who I'm talking about, right?
I do.
Froggy, do you know what I'm talking about?
No, sir. No clue.
Take a guess. Seriously, take a guess. I think it's pretty obvious. Think about just the events of the last couple of days, and if
Baker Mayfield.
Yes.
Oh.
See, look at that. You can do it.
You got an extra $250,000 for what?
Yeah, $250,000 for
Being a midget?
All right, why do you call?
He's just a little guy.
No,
He's a little man.
All right, will you stop it?
All right.
Fester, how tall is Baker Mayfield? Didn't you once look this up?
I looked it up yesterday.
Yeah.
Here's the funny thing.
Yeah.
I found one site where it said, I showed this to Froggy yesterday, and it said he was 6'5". That's
You're right.
not correct. But then I found another site that said he was like 6'1" and 5/6 of it, or so maybe that's where they got
Hold
it
on,
from.
6'1" and 5 what?
In other words, I could have seen where this site that cited him as 6'5" took it from this other site that said he was 6 feet 0 and then 5/12 or something. I don't know. Anyways, long story short.
Whoa, can you explain this,
Yes,
man?
okay.
Please,
No,
Roxanne, please.
It's a visual thing.
Explain.
It's a visual thing.
Can you dig it up and show it to me?
Yeah, hold on.
Are you saying that they're? Are you trying to say 5'11" and a half? Or
I'll
6?
show
I mean,
you.
so where are you getting this
She's
crazy
trying to
fraction
say-
from?
She's trying to say the very specific number of 6 feet
Right.
and 5/12 of an inch.
Thank you.
That's what she's trying to say.
Look. Here it is. Look it. There it is.
Hang on. Can you? I this
is insane. What does this even mean?
I want to understand the fraction. Hold on a minute. What? Just hand me your computer.
I just went to Google.
Fester, hand Fester your computer. Let me try to figure this out. I'll even hold it up to MJ TV. My God, I'm just trying to talk about the guy getting a $250,000 bonus for the win on Monday night.
Just shows you how much fake news there is on the internet.
No, it tells me that you've got some lousy search terms in here.
Baker Mayfield height? Is that what I searched?
Okay. You didn't say it properly.
Excuse me. How should I have said it?
Baker Mayfield, according to this, which I don't even know, you're on Bing. Do you Bing a lot instead of Google?
I do both. I'll Bing you.
Oh.
Hey, I'll threaten him with a good time.
This says, so to read this properly, it's 6 feet and 5/8 of an inch. I don't know where 5/12 came from. But
whatever. I just threw something out there, but I knew it was 5 somethings.
From the cold wire.
Probably because there are 12 inches in a foot. That's probably where 5/12 came from. Continue.
All right.
I know that.
All right. How tall is Baker Mayfield? From thecoldwire.com. I know that when I want sports facts, I go to thecoldwire.com.
Yeah.
And it says Baker Mayfield is 6 foot 5/8 of an inch. So that would make sense. It just, when you said it, you were like 5/12. Just the way you displayed the fraction verbally was awkward. That's why I want to read this. So now that I see it, yeah, Baker Mayfield is 6 feet 5/8 of an inch and 215 pounds.
But how is that not awkward? When's the last time you referred to someone in height as 5/8 of an inch? I've said that I'm if you say someone is 5'6.5" or 5'6 1/4", but nobody says I'm 6 feet 5/8 of an inch.
Typically, 5/8 of an inch comes into play if you're cutting a piece of plywood.
Right?
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So
means nothing to me.
Can we call it just 6'1"?
Yes.
Okay.
So NFL.com, Andrew, our producer, just said in my ear, said that the NFL.com website has Baker Mayfield listed at 6'1". I think, all right, he apparently is between 6 feet and 6'1". And this goes on to say, some fans claim that Mayfield, this is, by the way, from thecoldwire.com.
Never heard of that site. Never.
Well, talk to Bing. Don't talk to me about it. I didn't curate that site.
We're not blaming you. We're just having a conversation.
Yeah.
Okay, Froggy, did you not see yesterday on my computer the first search that came up? It said he was 6'5".
Yeah, that's.
All right, can you find that one again?
Okay, I'll see if I can.
Yeah, see if we can find that again. But let me just read this last part here from thecoldwire.com. Sorry. Some fans claim that Mayfield is too short to be an effective quarterback, but he is taller than some of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League's history. Now, Tom Brady, for instance, was what, 6'4"? Right?
He may, it sounds about right. Maybe a little taller. Let's see.
All right, here's your laptop back and see if you can find. I want to see the source that had Baker Mayfield at 6'5". Anyway, what I'm trying to say is congratulations to Baker Mayfield for scoring a bonus $250,000. Yeah, contractually, the Buccaneers gave him another $250,000 because of a playoff victory. So contractually, he's supposed to get an extra $250,000 for every playoff victory. So if the Bucs go on to beat the Detroit Lions in Detroit, what is that, next Sunday, 3 p.m. game, right? Is that it?
That's right.
On NBC, if I'm not mistaken. So if the Bucs go up to Detroit and beat the Lions, and keep in mind the Lions already beat the Bucs. What was that, week 6? That was a 20-6 pounding. And also, the Philadelphia Eagles also, beat the Bucs earlier in the season as well. But the Lions are a pretty strong team. That's going to be a tough climb. For the Bucs to go, I would love the Bucs to go ahead and and proceed and beat the Lions, but that might be a little toughy, on Detroit, home soil, etc. But if Baker Mayfield could pull that off again, it's another $250,000 per the contract. Any idea how much Baker Mayfield's making this season?
So his base salary is $4 million. And he has been racking up the incentives all year long. He got a big bonus for taking 85% of the regular season snaps.
He got a big bonus for being 6 foot 5/8 of an inch.
Yep. He's like, instead of the money, can you make me 4 inches taller? But he got bonuses for finishing in the top 10 in passing.
And then look at this. If he does win next week with the Bucs, that's another $250,000. And the win against the Eagles, apparently, the fact that he led the Bucs to a victory on Monday night, that will jam up his 2023 pay to $6.85 million. So all in, with the extra $250,000, he's going to bring in $6.85 million. And then I guess if he wins again against Detroit, that would be another $250,000 on top of the $6.85. So that would put him over $7 million. Listen, I hope he gets there.
Doesn't he make it? I don't get this.
And he's one of the very, very low-paid quarterbacks.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so this is weird. I swear I saw that yesterday, and I actually have Froggy to back me up on that.
Yeah.
Some witness
That-
you have.
Hold on, Froggy.
Yes. I saw it. 6'5".
You saw it did say 6'5"? All right.
Yes,
was the-
sir.
All right.
The first search thing that came up.
Yep.
But now I did find another article about short quarterbacks and how they're NFL unicorns. And this is an older article, but it says that in the last 30 years, NFL teams selected 69 quarterbacks in the first round. Only 4 were shorter than 6'1".
Good.
Called shorter backs.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Shorter back.
Unicorn shorter back.
Is Hal Herman coming by about 8 o'clock this morning, Froggy?
I don't know. I haven't heard from him.
Oh, come on. All right. 6:09 MJ Morning Show. Just getting rolling here on a Wednesday. And traffic is on. Back in a second. o'clock this morning. Hal Herman headline should be on the way. Early morons in the news also on the way. And what is it about women falling out of love? That is next. Hang on. right, 6:20 at the MJ Morning Show, Wednesday morning. Hey, folks, welcome the first hour of the MJ Morning Show. I posed a very interesting question just a few moments ago about women and love, relationships, men and love. And, well, if you believe the research of world-famous Dr.
Yes.
Who's a professor of economics at Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh. Have you ever heard of Dr.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah. It's Dr. Saurabh, and the last name is Bhargava, which I think I nailed it as far as the pronunciation goes.
Is that Irish?
I believe it is Finnish.
Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, just odd vowel placement that
Yes,
you usually see. Wow.
Yes. Let me try that again. It might be Dr. Sarab Bhargava. that might be I think I like my first pronunciation better.
What does the good doctor offer us?
Well, I want to ask you guys a question. According to the doctor's research at Carnegie Mellon, who falls out of love faster? Is it am I boring you? I mean, you have an audible yawn on the air.
I thought it was like silent yawn.
No.
It was like under my breath.
Well,
Like
I'm interested. Continue.
It wasn't like
it was
like a.
I heard you. I saw you and heard
Well,
you.
you saw me. That's why you heard me. If you didn't see me, you would never have
Well,
seen
are
me.
you interested or not?
Fester.
I know who falls out of love.
But hang on a minute.
I know the answer to this. I don't need Dr. Bacala.
All right, hang on a minute. But from a medically concerned standpoint, you are yawning incessantly every day, and you never did that before.
I should
we all
probably
have problems.
find
I'm sorry, Roxanne. One at a time, please. What did you say?
I said we all have problems.
Okay.
It's fine.
Yeah,
That's his
all right.
yawn problem.
Yeah, I should probably find an afternoon show.
No, seriously, Fester. I'm not trying to bust your chops
Okay,
over
that's
here.
fine.
I'm seriously concerned that I've never seen you yawn. I would say 24 times a show.
Stop talking about it.
All right. Stop. Now
your breath.
Now you're being a wise ass. All right. No, I'm concerned.
Stop talking about it.
All right. Really,
Oh my gosh, you can't talk about yawns.
Stop.
I can't even see somebody yawn without yawning.
Oh, I know.
Right?
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hear you
that's
just talking about it.
yeah, compassionate yawn or sympathetic yawn.
Yeah, it's the copy. You copied me. Mommy, Fester's copying me.
Sounds like
All right, so let me go back to Dr. Baklava. All right. So who do you think, I was just about to ask the question, who do you think falls out of love, according to her research, who falls out of love faster, the guy in the relationship or the woman in the relationship?
I abstain because I know the answer.
How do you know the answer?
Because my old lady fell out of love with me probably 10 years ago. I mean, I can tell you right now.
All right, Roxanne, would you like to take a crack at this?
I have no idea, but I'll just make a guess. Maybe it's a trick question. Both at the same time. Jinx, we're out of love.
What'd you say? Jinx?
It just, copy. We say that around the house all
Yeah,
the time. My kids are really into Jinx.
When you say things at the same time, when we were 12.
I know how that works, Fester. I don't need an explanation on that.
You kind of seem surprised.
I do.
No,
How does that work?
I'm not surprised by Jinx. I'm not surprised by that. I know what it is.
All right.
I just, Roxanne's context of using Jinx.
Yeah,
in
I'm
this,
out of love. I'm out of love. Jinx,
all right.
like that.
What is that? I'm all out of love, is it?
So lost without.
Hey, cue up the hook. Let me hear that sappy sucking.
No, but I think that song is about not falling out of love. I think she's lost without the person, right?
I'm all out of love.
So lost without
I'm so
you.
lost without you.
Boy.
Anyway.
I have to see the next lyric is.
I want to murder you in your sleep, I think is the next. I want to bludgeon you with a sickle in your sleep. All right, so here's the deal. New study, which has been published in the Journal of the Association for Psychological Science, found that women report a more dramatic decrease in the feelings they have for their spouse, talking love, baby, over time as compared to men. And I guess one of the reasons that this happens, it's claimed that women are more in love than men in the beginning. So what are they? They burn out all their love?
I burned out my love.
What song is that, Froggy?
Burning Love.
Burning Love, is that it? So women are more in love in the beginning, and I guess they're just all in, more horsepower, and I guess what, it peters out toward the end?
We just get tired of being unappreciated.
Is that what it is? Yeah, so this Dr. Sarab Bhargava from Carnegie Mellon in Pittsburgh tracked the emotions of about 3,900 heterosexual adults with different types of relationship timelines. The entries were recently engaged to married for decades, and they were asked to record who they were with and how they felt every 30 minutes for 10 days. And it revealed that it was far more likely that women, more than men, would feel early love in the relationship, but then the love wouldn't last as long with the women versus the men. That's interesting.
Interesting.
Yep. Women who really, this is also interesting, according to a research, women that really fell hard for a guy, women that fell head over heels, they reported the dissipation of the love feelings, those fizzled faster, according to...
Wait, the more crazy you were at the beginning?
Okay. Yeah. The more crazy in love. Was that a movie, Crazy in Love?
Maybe.
Was Drew Barrymore in that, Crazy in Love? Was that a... So the crazier you are in love, and women tend to fall really hard faster, that causes the half-life to accelerate toward the end of the relationship.
Really enthusiastic in the beginning, and then falls off.
And this is a whole different study, but I thought this was interesting as well about love, that love really does affect how the brain works. And it was described in this write-up that love does, quote-unquote, scramble the human brain on a neurological level. Brain scramble.
Yeah, just like drugs.
Yeah, I guess it's the release of oxytocin. That's the love hormone.
You know what's interesting? I have a little tidbit on that.
Do you really?
Oxytocin, you're correct. It is the love hormone.
What about OxyClean? Do you have a little tidbit on that?
What about
Hi, Anthony Sullivan for OxyClean.
What about oxycodone?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Anthony Sullivan for oxycodone.
If you could mix those three together, you'd love having a clean house.
We've taken all the oxys, we've put them together. Oxytocin, oxycodone, and OxyClean.
But wait, there's more.
Introducing OxyContin.
Yes.
Do you want me to tell you about oxytocin?
Oh, please. I would love you to tell me about oxytocin.
This is an interesting thing, and it's going to give you some info about women.
But the oxytocin, that, just to cut to the chase here, I'm not going to get any deeper into the mumbo jumbo, but the oxytocin and falling in love and the release of that so-called love hormone, it scrambles the brain, and sometimes you don't think clearly or make wise decisions because of your scribble, scrabble, brain scramble.
Right. And then also oxytocin. So it's like it's a cuddle hormone. It ramps up.
It's the cuddle hormone?
Yeah,
are those your words, or are you reading that?
No, I would like to take credit for that, but I've actually read that. Oxytocin, the cuddle hormone. And it ramps up after you've done it, when you're done. And then...
after you've done what? I don't know what you're talking about.
Doing... You know,
I don't know. Okay.
It ramps up after you have sex.
After you've done it. Oh, done it.
Yes.
It.
And then, but the big thing with oxytocin is
when I think of it, Roxanne.
Yeah.
I think of a clown down in the sewer.
Yeah.
when I think of it.
Really?
Doing it.
And I'm doing it. I'm in the
having
sewer.
relations with the clown in the sewer. That's doing it. All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, this is very important.
I love a
After
redhead.
you have a baby, and then when you breastfeed, you are just oxytocin it up. That's all you do is
Really?
produce oxytocin. So guess what that means?
Is that with a prescription, or are you buying it on the street?
No, when your body makes it while you're breastfeeding. That's why you have that bond with your child. And then it also makes you not care about sex. So that's why women, after you have babies, you're kind of like in a no man's land of wanting to do it because all you care about is bonding with your kid. But none of us are having any more children, so none of us in here have to worry about that. But I think it's a good PSA.
Did you have any oxytocin issues? Are you speaking from experience?
Well, I mean, I'm just speaking in very general terms, but it's not your focus. But first of all, your focus is trying to keep your child alive, right?
And then your focus is to stay away from Doug's junk.
Well,
There's two focuses here. One, not to do it with Doug. The other, to nurture my baby.
No, it shows you that takes precedence over other aspects of life.
Wow.
Whereas maybe you're thinking,
And Doug's junk. I'm sorry, what were we saying?
I was just gonna say maybe your baseline is think about sex, 3 times a day, and then when you're breastfeeding, you think about it 0. Maybe your baseline is 100 times a day,
right.
and then it's 0.
Oh, there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, some early morning love.
Love science.
Love science.
You're like Dr. Ruth.
On the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. 632, good news if you like a big pile of morons. We got a gigantic pile of imbitards. Morons in the news next on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. Stand by. You're thinking about going... It is early Morons in the News on the MJ Morning Show, 641. Here we go. I don't know if this is going to be a burglary or robbery or strong arm robbery or I don't know if this is going to be a trend, but let's see if this guy starts something. A guy in Lincoln, Nebraska robs a liquor store wearing a shower curtain.
It's not my first choice of disguise.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on the curtain. Some of them are see-through, right?
Oh well, hey, some of them have like the aquatic scene. I'm a scuba diver.
Some fishies.
Yeah, sometimes you've seen the different themed shower curtains, right?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Remember, you can go to Bed Bath and well, not anymore, but in the past tense, you could at one point go to Bed Bath and Beyond. Now they're Bed Bath and out of business. But remember, you used to like see all the different shower curtains, solids or prints or scenes and all kinds of, New York skyline shower curtain, all kinds of I saw a Statue of Liberty shower curtain one time. Well, guy walks into a liquor store And he robs the place, and he was wearing a shower curtain. Was he taking a shower? And he said, you know what? I'm a little short on cash. I'm going to go rob a liquor store. Did he pull the shower curtain off the rings?
It's like the scene from The Karate Kid. Remember he dressed up like the shower curtain?
Yeah.
At the dance.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mr. Miyagi made him a great costume.
You go to dance. You go to dance.
Froggy, I need you to be quiet on this.
I make you shower.
Fester, I need you to also refrain. Andrew as well.
Can't talk anyway, but go ahead.
Roxanne.
Yes.
For $5,000.
I don't know. I already don't know.
For $5,000,
Uh-huh.
who sold shower curtain rings?
Tupperware. Dyson.
It's a movie.
Come on, who sold shower curtain rings?
Romy and Michelle. No, that was Post-it notes.
It's a classic movie.
All right. Froggy,
Yes.
would you like to tell? Roxanne just blew a $5,000.
I probably haven't seen this movie because this
How much
means
do I get?
nothing to me.
You get nothing because you know the answer, and I knew you'd know the answer. So please tell Roxanne
Yes.
how she just blew $5,000 when I said, who sold shower curtain rings? Roxanne should have said...
Of course, John Candy in the movie Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Come on.
Ray did not see that movie.
What? Come on!
It's a holiday classic.
It's a must.
Never seen it.
Come on. You never saw... Really?
No. Like I've seen, walked by the family room when it's been on, but I've never sat down and watched
What?
it.
My hand's in between two pillows.
Those aren't two pillows.
How about those bears? Huh? How about those bears?
Okay, now I feel like I've seen it.
Yeah, of course you have.
All right, so this guy robs a liquor store in Lincoln, Nebraska. Cops were called to Mum's Liquor
We got a whole bunch of moms.
for a report of a robbery at 12:46 a.m. An employee told cops that a guy about 5'10", 180 entered the store after midnight. He was described as wearing a black hoodie with pink bands on the shoulders, a mask, gloves, and he was wrapped in a shower curtain.
Wow. It's cold in Lincoln right now. That's brave.
Oh man, they were upon investigating, the cops recovered the shower curtain. So they found the shower curtain ditched. So if anyone has any information on this, contact the Lincoln, Nebraska Police Department so they can find the shower curtain suspect. All right, let me ask you guys a question. I'm being very serious on this. If you have a fight with your roommate over the TV remote control, and obviously that's going to be who's in control, who controls the channel flipping, the volume, etc. If you're in a dispute with your roommate over the remote control for the TV, what is an unacceptable action to take?
I don't know. The remote control is probably the number one source of arguments in my house.
Would you like to hear the audio daily double on this by any chance?
Can I make a guess before we even hear it?
Please.
Shove it up the other person's butt.
That's, you know what? I like hearing that from you. No, good answer, good answer. But
Good
no,
answer.
that's not what I'm looking for. But here is the audio daily double. All right. So the worst possible response to a fight over a TV remote control is. That's a shooting.
If I say, I need more clue.
That's a shooting. Yeah, a guy in Maryland arrested, shot and killed his roommate during an argument over the TV remote control.
I'm telling you, there's a lot of anxiety and emotions attached to being the holder of the remote.
That might be a slight overreaction, what I'm thinking. Yeah, Richard Benaw, 38, was charged with manslaughter in connection with the death of 27-year-old Dominique Scott Haynes. Dominique, that's like a female name, but it's D-O-M-O. Domo Origato, Mr. Roboto. Yeah, cops said that officers from the Prince George's County, Maryland Police Department They arrived about noon last Thursday. Officers discovered the decedent inside the home suffering from a gunshot wound, or wounds rather. He was pronounced dead on the scene. And it all came down to a fight over the TV remote control. That's a bad roommate.
Yeah.
You know.
Sure, they may pay their rent on time and pick up after themselves and do their own dishes, but if they're going to shoot you over the remote.
Now, the suspect who shot the other roommate over the remote control, he's claiming that the roommate came at him with knives. So he's claiming Knives Out. You see that? That was a great movie. You see Knives Out?
No, I haven't.
Do you watch any movies at all?
I watch children's movies.
Oh, my God. You gotta, man, there's just such good stuff out there.
Yeah, I mean, I had a period in my life where I watched movies. I'm not in that period right now.
In fact, I have a story which actually relates to a movie, and it has to do with a really, really creepy Airbnb. And I'll get to that probably next hour. And I'm going to bet you like $100 that Froggy's going to say, "Oh, I saw that." I bet you Froggy saw this. Yeah, I'm guessing the Froggy saw this like probably a little bit of an obscure movie. That's what I'm thinking. Anyway, if you get into a fight over the remote control, stabbing, shooting, probably not the best solution to rectify the situation. But there have been many fights over remotes. I remember my grandparents got into a fight over the remote control one time. I remember my brother and we got into the fight, of the century over a remote control at one point.
It has to be one of the top things of sibling arguments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the TV remote. And here we go. We got a death over there. And then cops out in California. They're looking for, a pretty discernible vehicle. A 1962 Chevy Impala convertible was ripped off. The car was equipped with a dozen batteries for hydraulic hoppers. So this was one of those like Southern California old classic 1960s cars with all the hydraulics installed. You've seen the movies or the TV shows and they're sitting at a traffic light and they start making the car hop all over the place.
Yeah, it was big in the 90s. A lot of Snoop videos.
Jumping up and down like a Mexican jump. Oh, maybe I shouldn't say that. But
like a jumping bean from a southern North American country.
Yes, exactly. No, but because the jumping cars, aren't those culturally?
I've always associated it with
attached to like the Southern California Mexican community.
That's what I've always associated.
Yeah, exactly. So. I mean, I don't know. I should have said Mexican jumping, but that's what the car's going ding, 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 ding.
Not
ding,
the
ding.
bean's fault.
Yeah. Anyway, I mean, how tough? How do you get rid of a 1962? That's a pretty specific car, convertible '62 Impala, worth over $100,000 with all these hydraulics to make the car jump all over the road.
Where did it get stolen?
That's dope.
It got stolen in Woodland Hills in Southern California.
Yeah, I was about to say, you take that car down to Tijuana. They never find it again.
Oh, man. I've never seen one of those in the Tampa Bay area.
They're not really big anymore, right?
Does anyone have one of these old, like, 1960s, Chevys that jump up and down with the hydraulics?
I'm sure they're out there.
Go to a car show. You'll see plenty.
Yeah, seriously. When was the last time you went to a car show at a parking lot?
6:51 at the MJ Morning Show. We will start the 7 o'clock hour coming up in just a bit. I do have the movie quiz. I just teased this creepy Airbnb story. If you want to be creeped the freak out, and then the people that were creeped out, they apparently had seen the movie before they rented the Airbnb. Hold on. It's on the way on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105, and we'll do that first up next. At the sound of the hold on, it'll be 7 o'clock. So listen very carefully. I think it's coming up now. There we go. Are they saying hold down or hold on or whatever? All right, 7 o'clock at the MJ Morning Show. And I promised the Airbnb creep out story. I hope this doesn't spoil Airbnb for people that are listening. You know, we've done a couple. We did, Michelle, I think we got an Airbnb in Paris in the 16th arrondissement, whatever they say, the 16th arrondissement, whatever however you say it in French. But very nice, very reasonable as well. And then we used Airbnb at Julian's graduation up in Connecticut at his boarding school last June, and we rented a big house. And we stay, Michelle, myself, and Chloe, and then my parents, and then Michelle's mother. And
it sounds like a terrible time.
And boyfriend / like common law.
Isn't that where your mother caused all that damage?
No, my father did.
Oh.
Yeah. My father fell into the door and smashed the doorknob just busted right through the drywall and everything.
At the time, your mother was like, it was like that when we got here.
It was not. It was not.
We didn't do it.
Because,
God, we didn't do it.
Well, what happened was there was a huge crash. Michelle and I were out. We were, I can't remember, we were getting something. I think we were at Arethusa getting some ice cream or some cheese or something. And there was a huge crash upstairs, and my mother was downstairs, and then Michelle's mom, and they've been together for like 20 years, but they're not married. So, but they're kind of married. So they were all downstairs, and there's this huge crash upstairs. And my dad was upstairs. My dad turned 81 back in October. So they all rush upstairs to see, oh my God, what was that crash? And my dad's on the ground, and he fell into the door. And then, but no one noticed at that point that the door had gone through the wall. And my dad hit with such force. You have those door stops, the metal prongs that stick out with the little, rubber things. Right. And some of them have the springs. Some of them are kind of springy, or some of them are kind of hard and fixed. This was a hard fixed one, but I guess my dad whacked the door into it so hard, it just bent the thing all out of the baseboard, and the doorknob went like a foot into the wall, but they didn't notice it. And then I'm in their room later that night, and I look behind the door. I'm like, what the hell happened here? My mom's like, oh, that was like that when we got here. I'm like, no, it wasn't. What are you talking about? What do you mean? Oh, that was. So then I put two and two together, and I look at the back of the doorknob. It's all drywall on the doorknob.
That's crazy.
And it wasn't like that. And I got to talk to Michelle whether we ever got billed for the drywall damage on the house. But that was our second Airbnb experience. But we had actually two good Airbnb experiences. However, what would you do in this situation? Would you go, nuh-uh? A couple rents a basement apartment in Chicago. So the family, I guess it's a couple, they got a couple of kids, I guess it's a family from Kansas City. They went to Chicago and they rented an Airbnb, and well, what they saw freaked them out. So it's a basement apartment. Zena Habashi rented the apartment. This was late last month, over Christmas time, late last month, December. She said, quote, I noticed that there were so many random doors inside the house that were never shown in the listing.
Random doors?
Yeah. While getting ready to go to sleep, me and my cousin noticed a light on in one of the rooms that was locked. We decided to try to open the door, is what she says, because they turn the lights off, and then they apparently all these other doors in this hold on to your thought there, Froggy. So all of these other doors, they turn the lights off to go to sleep, and then there's this light coming out from underneath one of these doors that's locked. What's this light? Who's here? This is a basement apartment. What's going on in this place? So they grab the handle. It's locked. They can't get in. They decided to open it. They got a fork, and they were able to use the fork, I guess, to kind of get the latch and kind of get it far enough to pull it open. So they open the door, and that's when Zena Habashi says, I saw it, and took video. There was a secret dungeon in the basement of this Airbnb that they rented. She saw wooden doors with locks on, chains on the ground. Wow. And noticed that the wooden door went even further. So it's
like a tunnel.
Down some corridor. It's like, what the heck is going on here? Secret rooms? All kinds of doors all over the place that were never in the pictures of the listing.
That's crazy.
Then you go to sleep, and there's this little light coming out. You open the door with a fork, and then you got some kind of a chain set up with chains on the floor.
It's like a sex dungeon. Was there a gimp?
Well,
Who has a dungeon?
get me the gimp.
Bring out the gimp.
Yeah.
Who adds a dungeon to their house with a lock that can be jimmied with a fork?
That's just weird. And Froggy, here's where you just said sounds like a horror movie.
Okay, I have to interrupt. This horror movie you're going to describe, MJ?
Yes, yep.
How does it compare to Human Centipede, the gold standard for creepy and disgusting?
I think it's completely different premises.
I don't think that this has anything to do with the Human Centipede.
That was a horror movie.
No,
Of a different level.
right. No, this would be more like Hostel or something.
Okay.
Here's the movie. It turns out that just before going on the trip to Chicago, this Kansas City woman had seen the 2022 horror movie called Barbarian, about a woman who discovers that the rental home that she booked online was already occupied by a stranger. Stranger danger. She said, I had watched Barbarian a month before we had been on this trip, and we were joking before we even got there, saying, imagine something like Barbarian happening. And then they get there, and it's like almost Barbarian happening.
For real.
And I'm actually shocked. Froggy, you did not say, oh, I saw that movie.
I have not. I want to, though.
Generally, every movie, anything I bring up, it's like, oh, man, I saw this documentary on Netflix, or, oh, I just saw that. And so, Froggy, adding this to the list?
Hell yeah. I love a good flick like that.
Hey, Fester, go to Google.
Sure.
Open up a new window. Don't lose that. Type in where to watch Barbarian. Because, you know, you can do that. It'll tell you whether it's free on one of the streaming services or whether, you know, you got to pay $2.99, $3.99 or rent it on Amazon Prime Video, whatever. All right. Barbarian 2022.
Looks like Max has it.
All right. So, it's subscription. So Hulu, you know what? You're right. So it looks like it might be on Hulu and Max. If you have a subscription, you should be able to get that for free. It's $3.99 on Apple TV. It's $3.79 on Google Play Movies. So those are the options. But it looks like it might, if you have a Hulu and Max, it looks like it might be included with your subscription. But can you imagine that? How creepy is it? Anyway, they complained to Airbnb. Airbnb refunded their money, which that's the right thing to do. I think
Sure.
I think Airbnb, aren't they pretty good about resolving issues?
I've always heard they were very customer friendly if there were a problem, and they're not afraid to cut somebody from the website. If
Throw you right out of the Airbnb rental pool or whatever you call it. Yeah. So the listing was advertised as a basement apartment. And the separate space was accessed through the part of the basement. The place had a 4.84 rating. Is it also listed on like S&M and bondage websites with the special bondage and chains on the floor room or whatever?
Somebody get their Achilles sliced in there. And then told to stand up.
What movie was that?
That was Hostel.
Oh, that was Hostel? Yeah. It's been a long time since I saw.
They sliced their Achilles tendons and then they let him go. They said, "You're free to go." And they stood up and they're like,
Roxanne, did you see Hostel?
Oh my God. Did I see Hostel? I went to Palm Beach to stay with my sister when she lived down there. And we were going to go out to a nightclub. And I used to have a real bad habit of kind of wandering away from the group when we went out.
Well, that's not good.
So they tried to scare me straight. So we watched Hostel before we went to the nightclub.
Oh.
And let me tell you, I stuck with the group.
Hello, lovely lady. Welcome.
I was just checking my email. And a listener, I'm glad I looked at email. MJ at MJMorningshow.com. If you have anything to add to the program, you have content, you have questions, if you have inside information, gossip, something we got to know, you can always email me, MJ at MJMorningshow.com, and I check it multiple times during the show. I just got an email. Wait, Roxanne has not seen Plane, Trains, and Automobiles, but she's seen Human Centipede.
Yes.
Ooh,
that is true.
Good point.
Wait a minute.
That is true.
Yeah, if you missed it, the whole Planes, Trains, and Automobiles thing came up segment or two ago. All right, one other question I have. Moving on here. How do you collect dog urine?
Oh, I know how to do that.
Because a dog will go in the grass, a dog will go in the bushes.
Right.
You know, we actually have a dog litter box in the house. Now, the dogs are out there, Jack Russells. They love to run around, chase squirrels.
Ew,
but
a dog litter box?
We do. So we have, in our laundry room, we have a litter box. And this actually, they were trained when we were up in New York, when you don't want to walk the dog outside on the sidewalks at 2 a.m, the dog can use the litter box. And this is a thing. It really is. You get a big plastic box, and you can't use cat litter. You use these like compressed cardboard pellets, which are safe. And our dogs have learned to go into the litter box. But the question I have is, I saw a story about a woman who submitted dog urine as her urine for a drug test. And
dog urine is surprisingly easy to capture.
How?
You put a red Solo cup on a yardstick. When the dog lifts the leg,
all
you
right,
just catch it.
Come on.
That's how you do it.
Why don't you just hold the yellow or the red Solo cup?
Because then you get really close.
A woman admitted that she submitted dog urine that she collected in order to try to cheat a court-ordered drug screening. Jessica Beatty, 42, is subject to random testing as a stipulation of release terms related to her arrest back in December for drug possession. She happens to be right here in the Tampa Bay area. Clearwater resident Jessica Beatty got a lengthy rap sheet, according to the Smoking Gun, numerous cocaine convictions, and related incarceration terms. Free on her own recognizance following last month's arrest, Beatty had an appointment last Thursday to pee in a cup at the Pinellas County Misdemeanor Probation Unit.
Okay.
The test is designed to detect the presence of chemical substances, which you should not have if you're on probation. Obviously you're prohibited. And apparently she was so concerned that her urine would be dirty, she tried to use dog urine.
They would catch that pretty easy.
Should they? Is there a way to tell?
She shows up with fraudulent urine sample to try to beat the drug test. And when she was confronted about the sample, she said that she collected the urine from her aunt's dog, which she intended to provide during the testing. Again, how do you collect dog pee?
Dogs pee for a few seconds and catch it in a cup.
They're not really paying attention. They're looking off while they're going. You just take the cup and you put it right there and you catch it.
Or you put a diaper on it and then drain the diaper, squeeze the diaper.
That's a good idea, too. That's a good idea. It seems a little tedious.
Oh, my God. Andrew is saying that a cup on a stick is the way the professionals do it.
I'm telling you.
How do you know that?
Professionals?
Professional urine dog collector.
Professional dog pee collector.
Yeah.
What?
In junior college, I had a part-time job as a pee collector.
Oh, my God. No, you didn't. Anyway.
All right, it was full-time.
Does anyone know Jessica Beatty, 42 of Clearwater, trying to turn in dog urine?
Yeah, what kind of dog does her aunt have? That's what I want to know.
Shih Tzu.
Ma'am, this is Shih Tzu pee.
She could have turned in something else. All right, 7:15 at the MJ Morning Show. Oh, we are getting praise from a listener. We might have saved a listener's life. Hang on. I got an email, mj@mjmorningshow.com. You got to hear this. It's a story about a bar, the code word, local story. Oh, you got to hear this. Hang on. That is among the many things coming up as we launch an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ next. Don't move, MJ Morning Show on Q105. I love what I said. hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ now. And I believe in the middle of 1 hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ, Hal Herman headlines. Froggy, have you made contact with Hal this morning? Is Hal going to make it in? Because it was, I guess, sort of up in the air. You hadn't heard from him.
Yeah, I just talked to him.
Yeah?
He's on his way.
So Hal
He's
is
in an
coming
Uber.
in. How's dry? I guess we can ask him how dry January is going for him, right?
Last time he was completely dry, and Fester gave him a bottle of tequila like an idiot.
I bought it for him as a gift.
Christmas gift?
He ended up with a cake hat.
Yeah.
He's damp January.
Yeah, very damp.
And Hal Herman headlines coming up in just a matter of moments.
MSNBC has crabs. Hal Herman has the real news.
Yeah, what else?
Screw CNN. Hal Herman is the most trusted name in news.
Oh, yeah, he's on your side.
Hal Herman is on your side. Your side.
Isn't he threatening to sue Channel 8 for stealing that slogan from him?
Yeah, they're in the middle of depositions.
All right, Hal Herman headlines coming up in just a bit here on the MJ Morning Show. Listen to this. An MJ Morning Show listener, I will redact certain specific information, including her name, but did a previous MJ Morning Show segment save this woman from bodily harm, possible death, or certainly a really potentially bad situation? Who remembers some of the discussions we had? I think this might even go back a year or more. The angel shot.
The angel shot. Ooh.
The angel shot. Come on,
Is that
guys.
angel dust? And you take it intravenously?
No.
No?
How
Is
would
it,
that help a listener and save their life potentially? Come on.
No, I thought it was like, I thought maybe we did a PSA. Watch out for the
Guys.
angel
Isn't
shot.
it where you order a specific drink for
Yes.
a bartender?
Yes, that's
and
right.
the bartender knows that there's some kind of trouble and it has nothing to do with doing angel dust.
Oh, so Roxanne, has your memory been jarred?
Yes.
It's like
I
she got
remember.
out of her angel dust fog
Yeah.
and it became completely clear to her. Listen, we're not
I knew it
smoking
had to do with like a bar.
Roxanne's put down the PCP, and now
we're not in South Beach this weekend, Rox, all right? We're right here in Tampa.
yeah. What do you do down there? A lot of
Seriously.
angel dust. Is that?
Yeah,
the
me and my
angel
kids. I take my kids down
the
there.
angel
That's what we
shot,
do all
yeah.
the time.
Hey, listen, I got a story about a mother that gave her kid Delta 9. You know?
that?
Oh yeah.
What's Delta 9?
Yeah, but
Delta 9 is a one of those synthetic.
that's crazy.
I
Yeah.
haven't even heard of that.
Yeah, hang on. Well, I'll get to that coming up in just a bit. Listen to this. I was blown away by this story. I check my mjmorningshow.com email constantly. Again, if you ever have a hot tip, gossip, hey, just want to say hello. If you have any inside information, we love scoops. We get scoops. If you want to remain anonymous, just tell me. If you have any material for this show, email me. It's my private email. I'm the only one that checks it. mj@mjmorningshow.com. And I got this email, and the subject line was a big, huge, in all caps, thank you. Angel shot. And I'm like, whoa, I remember we talked about this. Let me share the email. And this listener, this woman, writes and says, I was in an unsafe situation at a Tampa restaurant/bar. I had agreed to a date with somebody from Match. They had been chatting. She writes, we'd been chatting, then texting and calling for about 2 weeks. She lives in blank. I'm going to leave that out. And she was, in the Tampa Bay area, but she was staying in downtown Tampa for an event. All right. And she felt comfortable enough with the contact, the, I guess, phone calls, the text messages. She says, I felt comfortable enough with him to pick me up for our first date. Once we were in his car, headed to and it's a well-known local restaurant, but I'm gonna keep that out. And it was near International Plaza.
The Taco Bell on the corner of Kennedy and West Shore? Oh.
She says it became obvious that he was completely wasted. He was driving erratically, slurring words, asking me questions about sex stuff. Yeah. I knew I had to get out of the situation. As soon as we safely arrived at the restaurant, we were told that there would be a 30-minute wait. I asked if he'd like to head over to a bar, which is right near this restaurant.
Yeah, of course he does.
For a drink, and she writes, of course, he had zero problems with that. So we proceeded to the bar. He ordered a beer and a double shot of tequila. She asked for an angel shot. She remembered our story of the bartender code that if a woman is in trouble at a bar, could be that someone is harassing her, a guy won't leave her alone, or a woman is there against her will, a woman feels like she's in a very unsafe situation. That's the code word. A woman should say to the bartender, I'll have an angel shot. And most bartenders know that if a woman asks for an angel shot, that means she needs help. She needs to be extracted from the situation.
Well, hopefully the bad guys don't know what angel shot means.
Oh, so it's a good point.
I need a help me shot, please.
Yeah. I need to get the hell out of here shot.
Oh, let me get that for you.
Is what I
make it a double.
Yeah. So she asked for an angel shot. The bartender said she needed to check. She came back and said they do. She then excused herself to the restroom. The manager met me and snuck me out the back door, put me in an Uber, all in about 5 minutes. If it hadn't been for the MJ Morning Show bringing up the angel shot, I would not have known what to do. I'm so glad the bartender knew what it was. I'm thankful that I was listening to the MJ Morning Show that morning when you talked about the angel shot. Now,
can we get the hero music, please? This makes MJ an official hero once again.
Would be a hero, right? He saved the day.
She's mentioning the MJ Morning Show.
Collectively, we're all heroes?
You're the hero, dude.
So Roxanne's a hero. Hero Roxanne.
Then
I'm a hero
Froggy.
too.
Then it ends with longtime fan, ! Forever grateful, and then her initials, which I'll leave those out. But how about that?
Ooh. Gives you chills.
You know, the angel shot. I mean, we talked about the angel shot. I think we talked about it numerous times on the show.
Are there any other code word shots that these bartenders...
Yeah, Depo-Provera shot means you don't want to get pregnant that night.
Yep.
Diarrhea shot.
Like, Froggy, really?
Means you have to run to the bathroom real quick.
Really? Come on. But isn't that a great story that she felt like she was... Can you imagine you get picked up by someone and they're weaving and swerving all over the place? They pick you up drunk off their ass?
It's horrifying.
That's terrible.
Nice to meet you.
Anyway, I just thought it was a great follow-up story because I know that we've talked about the whole angel shot thing. Women, if you're in trouble, you're in a bar, ask for the angel shot, and most bartenders know exactly what that is.
All right, what if he would have said, I'll have what she's having. 2 angel shots, please.
That wouldn't happen. Fester.
Why not?
I mean, thanks for making light of the situation.
Yeah, what's the matter with you?
What's the matter?
Yeah, Froggy's acting responsible for once in his life.
Listen.
It'd be like, hey,
that
sounds like a strong one.
I'll have a beer and a double tequila and an angel shot.
And put the angel shot in the beer.
Can I point something out?
Shot floater.
But hold on a minute. I hope there's never confusion because of...
What, angels envy?
Yes. Yes.
Wait, is that a... mushroom? What is Angel's Envy? It's bourbon.
It's a bourbon.
It's bourbon. That's
or a rye.
How does everything go to really particular specific drugs with you?
What is up with you? You
I was thinking of Angel Trumpet.
We talk about the angel shot. She's talking about angel dust. We talk about angel's envy. She's talking about mushrooms.
Roxanne, you've got a secret drug-fueled life is what I think you're a hallucinogen fiend. Is what you are.
I think I'm hallucinating right now.
So do I.
Fester's correct. Fester's right.
You always go to a drug that really isn't overly mainstream.
I just like to talk about seedy stuff. I'm sorry. So, what about a long shot? What does that get you? What does that mean? What's that code for?
A long shot?
Yeah, you ask
I
for
think
a long
that's a real shot.
No, but seriously, I hope there's never confusion because Fester was right. Angel's Envy is a fine product. You know, I've got a couple of bottles of Angel's Envy finished rye at the house, and it's rye that's finished in Caribbean rum casks, and it's a really nice spirit. Angel's Envy makes a very nice product, and their finished rye is spectacular.
And their bread.
Yeah, look for the green label, by the way. But yeah, I hope there's no confusion between the Angel shot and the cry for help. And a bartender thinking, oh, they want a shot of Angel's Envy. Nope, two different things. Hey, speaking of drinks,
yeah,
I think we knew about this. This is not a new revelation to me that drinking 100% fruit juice is linked to weight gain.
Oh yeah, for sure.
What kind of juice is it?
Yeah, well, Froggy, what kind of juice do you think it is?
I would have to go with juice. The juice.
But we've talked about this in the past. Now, you all right over there? You all right?
She got a mushroom caught.
You're not supposed to eat the stem.
What do you got? You got some ecstasy caught in your throat over there? You all right?
Those mollies could be thick.
Exactly. So, I know we've talked about this in the past, that like a 12-ounce glass of orange juice has more sugar and calories than a 12-ounce can of Coke.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I always thin it out. Don't you always thin, like for my kids and stuff, and for myself even? You know,
sometimes I don't drink a ton of juice. What I do is I'll make like a quart of water. Like I'll have a water bottle holds a liter or, a quart or so, and I'll fill it with just some ice cold spring water, and then I'll drop in, lemon juice, some lime juice. Sometimes I'll grab
You need a treat, always.
Yeah, sometimes I'll just put a splash of orange in there, but I'm talking about maybe the juice content might be like 10 total calories in a whole like liter or so of water. So I'll flavor water, most of the time with lemon and lime. And I don't drink a ton of juice, but I do like juice. I love grape juice. But I haven't had a glass of grape. Well,
that's very childlike.
I've had grape juice with a little alcohol, with a 15% alcohol content.
Oh yeah, I like that kind.
Same way Roxanne with drugs. It's you and booze. I mean, it's really weird,
for
guys.
real.
Really. But I always remember. I always think of the IHOP when this comes up. When you ever talk about orange juice,
right?
Remember International House of Pancakes used to serve the orange juice in the smallest cups.
Oh yeah,
we go there for breakfast once in a blue moon. My old man would order, and I'll have a glass of orange juice.
And it was what, like a thimble?
Yeah, a little thimble,
like a fat thimble. But yes, like bigger than a shot glass, but not by much. I'm like, that's the juice, and nobody drinks just that much.
But there's a new study out about drinking 100% fruit juice is linked to weight gain. Listen, if you drink a lot of it, 100% fruit juice, while it does qualify as part of your fruits and vegetables, it can be a calorie, a carb, and a total sugar bomb. So you don't want your kids, to be drinking just ridiculous amounts of juice. And you said you water your juices down?
Yeah, I always do half and half. If we go out to dinner, they like to get lemonade. It's a nice treat, but I always do half lemonade, half water. At home, I do half orange juice, half water. Lemonade's
a sugar bomb.
It is. Yeah, that's why you have to do half.
You know how much sugar is in lemonade?
Yeah, it's just sugar and lemons. Those are the ingredients.
But then you have like the phony. You have real lemonade where they use a ton of fresh lemons, and then obviously a ton of cane sugar, hopefully. But you also have a lot of the phony lemonades, and you like look at the label and it's like contains 3% juice or something,
What is this, the juice hour?
I'm
I love just but golly.
Listen, I'm forwarding just some new results that drinking 100% fruit juice is linked to weight gain.
And what do we sometimes start our kids off on? Apple juice. Oh, here's your sippy cup with apple juice in it.
My kids drink water.
Yeah, if you drink anything beyond water and coffee and tea, it's going to add weight to you, right? Alcoholic beverages, fruit juices, sodas.
Yep. Absolutely. Hey, there was a wreck on South Dale Mabry in South Tampa on Monday. This could have been a whole lot worse. This is something that annoys the Jesus out of me. I hate this. I've talked about this countless times on the show. A couple of teenagers, 3 exactly, 3 teenagers were in a crash in a golf cart on Dale Mabry.
Oh, I sent you that story. I said, on Dale Mabry.
Well,
so did he.
Yeah, I saw it before you sent it to me.
Okay.
I saw it before both of you.
Yeah, but thank you for sending it to me.
I said
Roxanne,
it to you.
Don't send him anything.
I'm not going to send you anything. You're so
No.
ungrateful.
No,
I was like, this has your name written all over it. You'll be all over this.
Right.
That's like, even if I wasn't, you know what, MJ, even if I didn't do a show with you and I saw that story, I would have sent it to you.
Well, because you know how this angers me. 3 teenagers suffered minor injuries. This could have been a whole lot worse. The golf cart they were riding in on Dale Mabry collided with a passenger car, a passenger vehicle, according to the Tampa Police Department. Happened about 7:30 p.m. So dark out. 7:30 in the middle of January. It's darkness because it gets dark early this time of the year. 7:30, 3 teenagers in a golf cart. Where the hell are the parents? Why? You know how I have a visceral, angry reaction to the parents that are allowing the kids. And I've seen kids 10, 12 years old driving a whole load of friends all over the neighborhood, crossing West Shore on Swan. I mean, what are you doing? Near where this crash happened, I saw a mother and a father and a bunch of young kids on a golf cart sitting at the traffic light at Dale Mabry and Swan, heading west toward Trader Joe's on the other side. And they're getting ready to, with kids in a freaking golf cart on Dale Mabry. I see it all the time. I saw another family with kids, young kids, on Lois crossing Henderson right near the CVS in South Tampa. I'm like, what? And remember, I rolled down the window and I said, please be careful. You're in a golf cart. And remember the guy said, hey, MJ.
Yeah.
The guy recognized me. I'm like, I'm sorry, get your freaking golf carts off the regular road. And here we have, this could have been tragic. This could have been a horror story. 3 teenagers ejected out of the golf cart after colliding with a real 4,000-pound car on Dale Mabry.
What kind of car hit him? Does it mention it?
A Honda.
Does it matter? Any car would take that thing out.
Police said the golf cart was heading east, tried to cut across all lanes of traffic. Driver slowed to avoid hitting the golf cart, was not able to bring the car to a stop. The Honda sedan collided with the golf cart, ejecting all of the teens out of the golf cart. Minor injuries. This could have been a whole different story. These golf carts these things are made out of cardboard, essentially. There is no way in many cases that they can hold up to a car, a truck. This was lucky that the Honda tried to stop, obviously slowed the velocity of the car down enough, smashed into the golf cart, hurled the kids out. But if this were at speed, we might be dealing with 3 dead teenagers, maybe even Plant High School students, or maybe even younger, maybe Coleman Middle. Who knows? What the hell? What parents are allowing their teenagers to be on Dale Mabry in a golf cart in the dark at 7:30 at night? In the middle of the noon blazing sun, you shouldn't be on a golf cart on these busy roads. The teens were treated at the scene. Fire and rescue showed up. And that's the information we have at this point. But we could be talking about a whole different story. It's going to happen. And I don't look forward to that day where I have to do the ultimate I told you so.
Don't even do the I told you so.
But where the hell is the parenting? I don't get it. Even in my neighborhood, you see these 12 and 13-year-olds racing around. You know, the law changed on that. I think it was back in October. Don't you need I believe you need to have a driver's license. Fester, hurry up. Just do a Google search. Florida golf cart street law. And I think the new law just went into effect. It's legal to drive a golf cart on the road in Florida as long as certain criteria are in place. You must operate in appropriate roadways that intersect in an area where a golf course or trailer park reside. Must travel at speeds less than 30 miles an hour. But again, now, I don't know if you can find it, but back in October, here we go, from August 29th, and I think the law went into effect. Click on that.
First one or second one?
Second one. So click on that from some TV station. So Florida golf cart law. Some doctors in Florida hoping recent legislation can make a difference in preventing injuries and death. Governor Ron DeSantis signed a bill into law in May that sets strict rules on who can drive golf carts. Right. The new law goes into effect October 1st of last year is when it went into effect. It bumps the age requirement to 15. 15-year-olds must have a driver's permit. That's right. They have to have a learner's permit. 15 with a learner's permit. People 16 and older need a driver's license. And people 18 and older need a valid government-issued ID. Florida law currently, last year, before the law changed, allowed anyone 14 and older to drive a golf cart. And that changed on October 1st. I'm telling you right now that I see in my neighborhood, I see kids crossing West Shore, where right at West Shore and Azeel area, cars are racing. It's a 30-mile-an-hour zone there, and cars are driving 50, 60, 70 miles an hour because that's where the two lanes go down to one lane, just past Azeel. And people are racing, and I see kids on golf carts crossing like Azeel across West Shore. It's insane.
Did the officers use this opportunity to tell the kids, you know, you boys are awfully lucky this time?
Should have. And again, I want to know what parents know their kids are out in a golf cart in the dark on Dale Mabry.
The terrible ones.
Get the freaking golf carts. I think we need stronger laws. I think it needs to go even further than what went into effect on the 1st of
October.
Thank you. I mean,
agreed.
You can tell that I'm very emotionally attached to this because we're going to have tragedies. We're going to have kids or people, families, mothers and fathers with young kids. There are going to be accidents, and I hate to have to talk about those. Oh, guess who put... What are you laughing at?
I was just thinking if some golf cart company wanted to do an endorsement with you. Probably not the best idea.
That's not going to happen. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about 10 minutes away from Hal Herman headlines. All right, Froggy, I saw you were in and out of the room during the last segment. Were you helping Hal into the building?
I had to let Hal in.
All right, so Hal Herman is here.
Yes.
All right.
He looks good.
Did he come in a golf cart by any chance?
No, he Ubers everywhere. He needs money, by the way, to get home.
Hal Herman headlines on the way in just a matter of minutes here on the MJ Morning Show. Did you see who cut the price of the house they're trying to sell by $10 million? $10 million.
Who's selling their house?
Oh, come on.
A celebrity?
Yep.
Derek Jeter?
Nope. He already sold that a long time ago. Come on. All right, let me give you a hint. You'll be guessing all day.
It's not Nellie's abandoned mansion in St. Louis that I keep seeing photos of.
No.
In the St. Lunatics. Don't forget them.
No.
They lived there.
No.
No. Oh, I don't.
No.
I don't know. No, I don't know.
What?
No.
Jeff Bezos?
No.
Who could it be?
No.
Elon Musk?
No.
Vern Troyer?
No. He's deceased.
Good.
Come on.
No.
Alec Baldwin.
Yes, that's why I'm playing the damn Alec Baldwin.
Oh, I get it.
Oh.
Yeah, Alec Baldwin is selling his Hamptons home, and he just cut the price tag by $10 million.
Wow. What was the original price?
That's a hell of a price cut, huh? All right, so I want to play the audio here because guess what? Alec Baldwin is in the video hawking his own house. So in the real estate video, Alec Baldwin is walking on the beach.
Aww.
Yes, in Amagansett. He's walking on the beach out near the Hamptons, out near Montauk. He's trying to just be all cool and Alec Baldwin. And let me tell you why I love this place. Well, was it way overpriced? Is it not desirable? I mean, cutting the property by $10 million. That's a hell of a price cut.
What's the total price? Is it like $100 million property?
It was $29 million. It's now the bargain price of $19 million.
Wow.
Now, would you like to hear some of Alec Baldwin pitching his house?
Sure.
If we must.
Yeah. I want to know what the amenities are. Is there an indoor shooting range?
I was waiting for that joke too. Yeah.
Is there, just out of curiosity?
Hey, I'm Alec Baldwin. I've had a home out here on the east end of Long Island since 1982.
Yeah.
When I was younger, we'd come out here and we'd sleep all morning.
Yeah, before I shot the director dead on the set of Rust.
And lay on the beach all day.
The director of photography, right?
Young. This place is the best.
Oh, yeah.
My first house was here on Bluff Road in Amagansett, a house I rented for 5 years. And then after that, I decided to buy my own place.
God, who cares?
So Alec, I'm just.
I hate him.
I'm just curious, Alec.
God, I love him.
The home is $29 million. You've lopped $10 million off. So $19 million. Can we say that you've decided to shoot the hell out of high prices?
Oh,
is that
he's shooting for the stars.
Yeah, exactly.
My first house here on Old Montauk Highway.
Yeah.
Around the corner from Atlantic Avenue Beach. I had this little cottage over here.
Dude, you killed the lady. Now he's trying to act like he's like a walking, talking real estate tour and reminiscing being a kid on the beach and my first house on Old Montauk Highway.
With his jazzy music.
I can't look at Alec Baldwin without the fact that he pulled the trigger on that gun and shot 2 people and one of them died. And then wait a minute. Wait for it. Then guess who he brings up? Why isn't she in the video with her phony Spanish accent? All right, hold on a minute.
About 7 or 8 years, and then I decided I wanted something bigger.
Yeah.
So I bought my house over on Town Lane. I bought this house back in 1995.
Oh, yeah.
I put this addition on the eastern side of the property in 1996.
Right.
And my wife, Ilaria, and I built this addition on the western side.
She's my wife, Ilaria, and I. So why isn't that sociopath in the video with her fake Mallorca Spanish accent?
How is any of this helping sell this house?
I don't know.
The music is so loud it drowns them out.
¿Quieres vivir en la playa?
Something on the...
¿Quieres vivir? I don't know how to say beach in English.
Well, La Playa is beach, yeah.
Do you want to live on the beach?
Oh, live on the beach.
See.
Okay.
Oh, no.
So,
and with the cucumbers.
why isn't Ilaria... he brings up Ilaria. Why isn't she in the video? And again, I called her a sociopath. She's born in Massachusetts. Her mother and father are professionals. Like mom's a doctor, father's a lawyer. Grew up, was born in Massachusetts in the burbs of Boston. And she pretends that she was born in Spain, in Mallorca. And she's got this phony accent. I mean, remember the audio? She was once on the Today Show. And she was doing, do we have the audio? All right, here we go. This is from the Today Show. Ilaria Baldwin, Alec Baldwin's wife, was on the Today Show doing some kind of a recipe. She's cooking something, and she has this sociopathic balls to say, how do you say cucumber in English?
I'm still not sure.
I mean, what is... Listen.
We have, how do you say it? Cucumbers.
Yeah. How do you say cucumber? I mean, she's.
How do you say?
I mean, there's something wrong with her.
Is it so? What did you just say? She has sociopathic balls, or does she just really freaking like Spain?
Listen, I love Spain.
I mean, you can really like Spain, but to pretend that you were not born in America. I mean, her friends growing up in high school, they've come out of the woodwork and they're like, what is she doing? She's got this sudden Spanish accent, pretending that she's from Mallorca, and she's from the burbs of Boston.
I think it's just an entitled thing. I mean, Madonna did it. Remember, she had that affected fake British accent.
Or whatever it was.
I think it's like, okay, I want to be from here. I want to talk like this. I'm going to talk like that.
My God.
Speedy Gonzalez is based on my life.
The property in 2014.
Yeah.
We've got about 10,000 square feet here.
Oh,
I fell in love with this place the moment.
Wait, does the real estate agent really think that Alec Baldwin rambling for 2 minutes is going to sell this property?
Honestly, MJ, I can't listen to any more of this. I hope you.
Yeah.
He sounds like he's acting like Glengarry Glen Ross. And he's going to tell us about the steak knives.
Yeah.
Such an act.
Yeah, tell me got any good leads on the property?
These are the Glengarry leads, and these are gold.
Yeah.
Came here because this is the main family home of the former Potter farm, the Potter family.
Oh
God, who cares where Harry Potter
babbling.
lived?
This guy's rambling.
The music drowns it out. I can't even hear him.
That's good.
And he sounds drug induced. Hey, baby, I bought this house on Bluff Road.
That's a good thing. Yeah.
The Michael Bublé soundtrack.
Right.
Get this out here anymore. You can't buy big pieces of land.
Do you think the real estate agent is like going, oh my God.
Is he about to break in a song?
I try to stop this and I try to prevent Alec Baldwin from doing a walking, talking, rambling, babbling on the beach walk and talk.
No.
It'll be a good idea.
You will film this and you will put royalty-free music underneath it. Or I'll shoot you.
Or I'll shoot you.
I will shoot you dead like
especially in Amagansett, that I know of. And I've always loved it here. We've got all this open land here in reserve, the meadow in the front.
This is a guy that beats up people over a parking spot in front of his building off of 5th Avenue and 10th in Manhattan.
And he flicks off nice radio DJs who just say hi to him.
He did. He yelled. He yelled at me.
No. Foundation's built.
Alec Baldwin yelled at me for taking his picture. You know what I ought to do?
Hilarious. There's a little person taking a picture of me. What the hell?
Big midget, 2:00.
I've never seen a midget before.
Sir, are you a midget? Sí or no?
Guys, I'm 5'6". I don't qualify.
Very poquito.
I don't qualify.
Very poquito.
¿Cómo se dice midget en español?
El midgito.
How do you say the midget in español? I don't know.
Yes.
Very, very tiny.
Le pequito.
I'll put them in your pocket.
Hey, I'm Alec Baldwin.
Oh, but shut up, Alec.
Hey, I'm Alec Baldwin. One time I flipped off the midget king.
All right, we just stop it. Anyway, Alec Baldwin. And then the only thing that would have made that worse is Ilaria in that video with, a phony Spanish accent. Oh, boy, look what time it is. It is 7:59 on the MJ Morning Show. And I love a good Hal Herman headline segment. And it is here. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, it's time for Hal Herman headlines on the MJ Morning Show. Let's welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Hal Herman.
Hal? Oh, okay.
Dude.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, man.
It's good to be back on the show. I got a big announcement.
Yep.
I know it's sarsaparilla season around here. It's a big parade.
Look at all the beads you have on
and
here.
I like to announce.
Yeah, by the way, it's Gasparilla, not Sarsaparilla.
Gasparilla.
Sarsaparilla.
Sounds like a breathing issue convention or something. Gasparilla. All right, I'd like to announce that I'm the Grand Marshal this year. Thank you.
All right. Hal, good job.
Herman, yes.
Thank you.
Hal Herman, the just announced Grand Marshal of Gasparilla 2024.
That's awesome, Hal.
That's the mayor.
Yep.
Sandy Freeman. She announced me.
First of all, it would be it's anointed.
I think it's announced me.
It's not.
I will be on the first float, the Hal Herman float. Yes. Did you guys know that?
I did not, Hal. It's awesome.
I made it all up. It's not true.
The mayor is not Sandy Friedman anymore.
I am shooting to be the Grand Marshal. I don't think they've announced it yet.
Yeah, actually, they did.
What?
Yeah, the Kreischer dude.
Bert Kreischer.
Yeah, the comedian's been announced.
Oh, that guy stinks on ice.
Okay.
They are fat nothing.
Bert will come here, take his shirt off, and kick your ass and leave.
I will kick Bert's ass.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen,
Get these things off me. Get them off me. I feel constricted. Freaking out a little bit because I have an issue with things around my neck.
So why do you have two?
When I used to asphyxiate myself.
Why do you have 2 dozen beads?
I pleasured myself. I used to asphyxiate myself.
What you what? What'd you say?
It's just I freaked out one time.
Did you say self pleasure with like a Michael Hutchins thing?
It's called
like
the Michael Hutchins.
All right. So are we ready for Hal Herman headlines?
Yes, I got all the breaking news. This stuff is real. This stuff is big.
More Americans get their news from Hal Herman than from any other source. Hal Herman headlines, because facts matter.
All right, here we go. Hal Herman headlines.
I'm going to start with a little follow-up story I did a few weeks ago, back to Taylor and Travis.
Oh, boy.
And they are done. Did you guys hear about Williams?
No, I did not.
They're officially done.
Over. Yeah.
As I reported last year, they were experimenting with a throuple relationship with the one and only Steve Buscemi. You remember that?
Yeah.
Well, that led to a lot of jealousy from Travis's side.
Well, hold on. You're saying that Travis...
got
Chelsea
jealous.
And
You
Taylor
would catch
Swift,
them doing it.
They had a threesome with Steve Buscemi?
Yeah, but that happened last year. But guess what? Love is in the air again for Taylor Swift because she has found a new man. Any guesses on her new leading man?
Baker Mayfield?
No.
Oh, he's married, actually.
Guesses, anybody?
I don't know who.
Gary Busey. Can you believe it?
Wow.
Because we know she loves the big teeth. She loves to lick the green and yellow stuff off the teeth. We've covered this before. Yes. So they've been spotted out and about together, taking pictures and whatnot, making out in public.
So Gary Busey and Taylor Swift spotted making out.
They are doing it like rabbits.
Yeah, that sounds 100% accurate to me.
Hollywood's newest couple. Good for them. Now, Brad Pitt. Everybody heard of this new actor named Brad Pitt?
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard of him. Yes.
Now, for charity, he's climbing Mount Everest, but things went bad. You sure you haven't heard about this?
Yeah, I don't think Brad Pitt is climbing Mount Everest.
Well, his grapple hook, it snapped, and he started falling down the mountain until he was saved. Do you want to guess how he was saved?
Ran into a frozen dead body?
By his own penis. All right, so apparently his junk got wedged in between two rocks, and he hung there for days.
A rock and a hard place.
He was saved after about a week, but they had to leave his junk there, and it's now a landmark for future climbers. Brad Pitt's junk is literally in the middle of Mount Everest, stuck in a crevasse. It's an amazing story. He's going to live, but he has no junk now. So he's gone.
Why haven't I seen this on CNN?
It's breaking news. It just happened.
Screw CNN.
He's a eunuch.
Hal Herman is the most trusted name in news.
Clint Eastwood. Have you heard of this guy?
Hold on one second. I don't think it's fair to tell our audience that Brad Pitt lost his wang in between rocks on Mount Everest. Folks, that
would be the case if it wasn't an actually absolute factual story.
Wouldn't freezer burn? Not freezer burn.
Well, that's what happened. It turned black.
Hypothermia.
Is frostbite.
Frostbite? Yeah. When did that happen?
It's called frostpeen. All right.
Stop.
Let's move on. Hot young actor. This happened at the Golden Globes. You hear about the Golden Globes a couple weeks or last week, I believe.
Did you say hot new actor?
Yeah, Clint Eastwood. Hot new actor. But he had an unfortunate incident at the Golden Globes.
What is Clint Eastwood, 91 or something?
He is in his 90s. He's so old and confused. He thought he was nominated for Best Actor. He wasn't. Okay. Right. He got so mad when his name wasn't called. He picked up his completely filled to the brim colostomy bag and broke it over Meryl Streep's head.
He did not.
Who was sitting in front of him. Meryl Streep was like she's at a Gallagher concert covered in his colostomastomus. All right?
How
That's called a collapse attack right there.
Hold on, which award show is this?
This is at the Golden Globes.
Golden Globes.
Yes.
Oh, the Emmys were on Monday night and nobody knew about it.
Yeah, I missed that too.
Yeah, I know. I was wondering why we didn't talk about it, but I didn't even know
No,
that
this
happened.
incident happened at the Golden Globes.
Well, it happened during the Bucks game.
Oh, that's right.
That was locally. But hey, Hal, do you mind if I jump in here for a second?
Sure, absolutely. Destroy my headlines. That's fine. What an ass.
The Emmys sank to another historical low audience, down 27% from 2022, and the Emmys only had 4.3 million viewers.
Most of those were in nursing homes where they couldn't get up to change the channel.
My God, the 7,000th rerun of an Office episode on Comedy Central has more than that. My God. Anyway, I'm sorry, Hal.
Are you done interrupting?
You're talking about award shows. All right.
Did I cover Clint Eastwood breaking his colostomy bag over Meryl Streep's face?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, but Clint Eastwood, I don't think broke his. He does. I don't even think he has a colostomy bag.
He has numerous, actually.
Yeah,
He has about 3 or 4 strapped on him like a vest.
like a suicide bomber vest.
Like he's a jump ship or something. Colostomy vest.
By the way, Clint Eastwood is 93 years old.
And actually, that colostomy bag has been filled for about a decade. So Meryl Streep is dealing with a lot of issues right now. All right. Anybody heard of a little guy named Dave Portnoy, the pizza guy? Have you heard of him?
Oh, not him.
Very famous guy, Davey Page Views. I know you love him.
Guy's a putz.
I know you love Dave Portnoy.
I do love him.
He's been caught in a sticky situation. He was reviewing a pizza at a pizza place called Bada Bing, Bada Boom, a Pizza. Have you heard of that place?
No.
Okay, well, he said he actually is quoted as saying, "This pizza tastes like it fell out of a dead dog's ass." All right, what he didn't realize is that this pizzeria is run by the Boston mob. Okay, he was grabbed by 2 big fat Italians, stuffed into an oven, and cooked alive for 47 minutes. He is dead.
Dave Portnoy.
He's been cooked alive
The mob cooked him in a pizza oven?
for 47 minutes.
Yeah, I don't.
And he is officially gone.
I don't
There's
pay-
an opening in the pizza world.
I don't pay attention to his reviews. I think the guy's a clown.
This is our last big story. More Hollywood love.
This is it.
Yeah, Tom Brady. I'm going to talk about his new girlfriend.
The final headline in Hal Herman headlines.
Now, did you guys see how he's been out spotted with a new lady? Have you guys seen the story? Do you want to say who it is?
Who?
Do you know? Take a guess.
I have no idea.
Rhea Perlman from Cheers. You remember her? They were spotted banging in a Bennigan's bathroom. Can you believe it? After they shared a romantic Monte Cristo together, they were seen going into the Bennigan's bathroom, and they were heard. And he was saying,
hold on.
He was screaming out, "Rhea! Do I do it better than?" And you know who she used to be married to?
Yeah, I know.
Danny DeVito.
Yeah, he said 2 times I take it better than Danny DeVito. Yeah.
This is
an absolute true story. We got Rhea and Tom.
Tom
we
Brady.
got Taylor.
Listen.
Gary Busey.
Hey. Tom Brady is not hooked up with Rhea Perlman, all right?
Explain the banging in the Bennigan's bathroom.
Bennigan's went out of business like in 2012 or something.
Yeah, you might want to check your sources on that one. I have a friend who's a franchisee.
Yeah, and you know what, MJ, I do have to say, remember the movie 80 for Brady when he was hanging around all those old broads for the filming of that movie? Maybe that
hold on, did you say old broads?
Yeah. Maybe that's his niche
I have a story about that actually. Inside scoop. He banged every one of those old ladies.
We just stop it.
He did. That's a proven fact.
Not Lily Tomlin.
Are there Bennigans again? Did they open back up?
Well, people are saying
because most of the Bennigans, there were no Bennigans in the Tampa Bay area anymore. Yeah, none in Florida. Hang on. I just went to Wikipedia.
I got news about that.
They apparently were banging at the Bennigans in Mount Pleasant, Michigan.
All right.
Rhea and Tom are teaming up together. They're going to open up a new franchise, Bang Agains.
Bang Agains?
I just wanted to tie it with a nice little bow. All right. Listen, Mayor Pamela, who's the mayor?
Right now?
Yes. The mayor of Tampa is Jane Castor.
Jane Castor. This is Hal Herman. Please allow me to be the marshal and not that stupid fat drunk Bert Krischer or whoever he is. He's not a Tampa guy. I am.
No, I think
the guy's a 50-year-old teenager. Come on, let's be honest.
I think he is from the Tampa Bay
No,
area.
he's from Idaho or something. Who cares? He's shaped like a potato.
Well, none of Hal Herman's stories were accurate, folks.
100% truth, 100% real.
For legal reasons, nothing he said is the truth.
Bert Kreischer's a fat drunk.
Bert Kreischer, please stop it. Bert Kreischer's not. All right.
Bert was born in St. Petersburg.
That's a lie.
Russia.
He grew up in Idaho.
He apparently went to Jesuit. All right.
Oh, God, a Jesuit boy?
All right. Hal Herman.
Go Crusaders! Tampa Catholic for life!
All right. Hal Herman headlines. Oh, Hal, before you go, don't leave yet.
All right, okay.
How's dry January going for you?
Oh, I've been drunk for 27 hours. I'm drunk right now. So that's why I'm drinking coffee.
So dry January did not work very well.
I've been hiding whiskey in my coffee.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks for having me.
Our pleasure. Hal Herman headlines here on the MJ Morning Show.
That was interesting.
Hey, speaking of Taylor Swift, I had a couple of people send me this story. I had a couple of people call me out. I got email at mj@mjmorningshow.com. I got direct messages on my Instagram at Certified MJ Radio. Again, ways to get a hold of me. I'm very accessible. Half the world knows my cell number, not as much as Froggy's cell number.
Not mine.
I'm sorry, Fester's cell number.
813-309-8444.
Right.
Yeah, that's Fester's cell number. So people can contact me a variety of ways. And I had people hit me up on DM, on Instagram, Certified MJ Radio. I had people email me at mj@mjmorningshow.com, calling me a hypocrite and sending me like links to stories. MJ, you talk about Taylor Swift being a distraction for the Kansas City Chiefs. What about Eminem? Literally,
why would he be a distraction for the Chiefs?
Because they showed Eminem at the Lions game.
Who cares?
Exactly. So I had to write back to these people. Do you not see a difference in Taylor Swift up in the skybox at a Chiefs game, and they're doing cutaway shots of her like 3 times a quarter? And like her boyfriend, Travis Kelce, will make a catch or have some good play, and then she has her hands over her face. Oh, I'm so excited!
You see the video of her like dancing with the entire crowd, swaying back and forth.
Yeah.
Oh, she looks like a good time.
Well, I just think it's very contrived. But the fact that people are saying, MJ, oh, you're giving Taylor Swift a hard time, but you're not giving Eminem a hard. They showed Eminem like one time during the Detroit Lions game.
Yeah, that's totally different.
Thank you, Roxanne. Thank you.
He's probably just sitting there stone-faced.
Right. Do me a favor, Roxanne. Explain to the people that emailed or DM me the difference. And they want to know, why am I not busting on and calling out Eminem?
Okay, I'm going to give my little sports reporter back in the day take on this.
Yep.
Coaches, players who want to win do not like team distractions. A team distraction could be a guy who always gets arrested, a guy who has legal trouble, a guy who is dating a celebrity like Taylor Swift, and that's all. It's a distraction is anything that reporters come in and want to pepper everyone with questions about that doesn't have to do with the game. So in that way, it is a distraction. It's just buzzed about.
All right, listen to this. This is one of the headlines that one of the angry Taylor Swift fans sent me. This is a headline from the Huffington Post. Taylor Swift fans think Eminem's warm reception at an NFL game reeks of hypocrisy. We saw Eminem once. We've seen Taylor Swift all freaking season long.
Now, Eminem, who is a lifelong Detroit Lions fan.
Yeah.
Not a Johnny-come-lately.
Right.
Taylor actually grew up a Philadelphia Eagles fan.
Mm-hmm.
He's not dating the quarterback or anything on the team.
But he is dating one of the cheerleaders.
No, he's not.
I'm just kidding.
That's
yes.
awesome.
I'm Slim Shady, yes, I'm the real Shady. All you other Slim Shadys are just imitating. So won't the real Slim Shady please stand up?
Please stand up.
Please stand up. Because I'm Slim Shady, yes, I'm
But you can't.
I know why you're so mad.
Well, you can't compare it. So the folks that are angry at me, or all the folks that think it's hypocritical, not just me, but the Eminem got a nice reception, but Taylor Swift is not. You can't even compare it. It's not even in the same produce card. Yes, Frog.
You're Eminem, Jay. That's why.
I'm Eminem J. That's true.
And you feel deep about this because they showed you at the Bucks game one time as Eminem J, and everybody was like, "Boo!" Ugh. Do you still have that song? I love that song. Take out the trash, bitch. Isn't that the name of the song?
It was. Back when Eminem was really big, like 90.
It was like 2000,
99, 98, whatever. I became Eminem J.
We played it on the podcast. It has to be somewhere.
Yeah, it is. It's somewhere. Hey,
take out the trash, biatch.
Andrew, see if Eminem J
could have been a hit.
See if Take Out the Trash, my M and MJ hit. See if that's in the computer system.
Called it a hit.
Now, I just think Eminem in the crowd wearing a hoodie, trying to be incognito, there are a lot of celebrities who are fans of teams and will show up at these big games.
And they don't show Eminem at every single game 3 times a quarter, you know?
Right.
They should have.
And nobody's in the locker room after the game asking the players about Eminem being there over and over and over.
Do you guys know about the kids clean car? Have you seen this?
No, what is it?
It is a little toy car that you put your kids on, and there are like Swiffer heads on the bottom of the car. So as they race around your house, you've got the kids doing child labor by cleaning your floors. It's the kids clean car.
It's awesome.
They're the little bastards that got it dirty in the first place.
Roxanne, you got to get this.
This looks awesome.
It's like a one of those robot vacuums, but you can drive it.
No, it's not battery powered. It's not electric. You put your kid on this device. It looks like a little car, a little toy car.
I'm buying this today.
And the kids. They roll around the wood floors, the tile floors, and the bottom of the car has like a Swiffer head. So while your kids are racing around, you're using them to clean your floors. It's a Swiffer car toy.
Where do I buy?
I think Amazon's got it.
Okay, yeah. My kids ride around the house on unicorns and stuff all the time.
Yeah, but no cleaning pads on the bottom, right?
Exactly.
So that's the point here. If your kids are going to roll down the floors and the tiles and the hardwood, why not have them clean the damn place? Hey, Fester, go to Amazon. I think it's on Amazon right now. Yeah, the clean car for children 2 to 8 years old. And it's kids will have fun riding around the house while cleaning your floors.
Okay.
It's on. Look, you found it, right?
I did.
How much is the clean car? Let's see here. Currently unavailable. What? It must be out of stock. Oh my! It's currently unavailable. We don't know when or if this item will be back in stock. Kids clean car, portable go-kart. Oh, it is battery powered.
This is the best invention ever. How much is it?
Doesn't matter.
We don't know.
There's no price.
There's no price. It's currently unavailable. It is 12-volt powered. So correction there. Variable speed. 2 to 8 years old. Every child can choose their own speed. Manufactured using ABS plastic. It'll do 0 to 5 miles an hour. Compact body for easy portability. Battery will last up to 4 hours. Riders weighing below 60 pounds can travel up to 10 miles an hour.
Why don't you just strap a mop to a big power wheel or something?
10 miles an hour seems awfully fast for inside the house.
Oh, yeah. Can you imagine a kid crashing into the corner of a coffee table at 10 miles an hour?
The turning radius is going to be tough. I don't see this working.
Well, is it available anywhere else but Amazon?
I don't see it anywhere except Amazon.
It's sold out. The kids' clean car, it's sold out. But, when you think about it, this is kind of brilliant.
It's very brilliant.
You know what? They need to come up with like some kind of toy so the kids can get up on the roof and clean the gutters.
Yeah.
That's kids' gutter cleaner skateboard or something.
As long as they can't lick the cleaning products and ingest the whatever's cleaning the floor.
I don't know if you honk the horn and it does the spray on the Swiffer, bzzz, you know?
Brilliant.
Yeah. This is amazing.
I don't see this going well. Some kid's going to kill himself in this thing.
Sounds crazy.
Why are they sold out?
Because it's a really good invention.
And it's only on Amazon? The kids' clean car, folks. Tons of viral videos out there on this thing. Oh, here we go. So the story I have, it's at the very end. It retails for $200.
Whoa.
And apparently it is sold out on Amazon. Is this real or is this... I can't imagine it would be a spoof and be on Amazon, right?
Okay, so it's my sister just sent me something on it. Did you say $200 price tag?
Yeah, this says $200.
Okay, and you probably have a New York Post article.
Yes, I do.
No seatbelt, no encasement. Could this be a joke? Because mom says some moms are scared of it.
Listen, I'm looking at a video. If this is a spoof, then somebody went to great lengths to build a working prototype model.
Wow.
Take it to the Shark Tank.
Yeah. Listen, the first thing I thought of was like, is this real? But then I saw it was on Amazon. I'm like, I don't think Amazon would be part of like a spoof or a gag, like a fake product.
Look, the mom is driving it.
Yeah, the mom. I mean, this thing will book. This thing will. I'm going to tell you, if you a kid should probably have a helmet on. All right, bring the audio up.
All right, here we go.
All right, go ahead.
Amazon.
All right, roll.
The year's 2024, and we can officially ride an electric ride-on to clean our floor. This small car for kids, but admittedly fine for adults as well, has an attachment on the front so your kids can clean their floor while they're riding it, as well as shining blue light on the floor below it while it goes. I'm pretty sure there's probably a weight limit, but I definitely zoomed around this and cleaned my floor today.
Yeah, she's riding around on it. Hey, Andrew, turn your mic on. Andrew just found one on eBay. How much is it on eBay?
$349.
$349 on eBay.
You know how long it'd take to clean your floor with that dumb thing? Just mop it.
He really doesn't do corners or edges that well.
Yeah, the kid's going in one straight line.
I want a clean racetrack in the middle of my floor.
Roxanne, would you like to talk about your medical crisis now?
Oh, no.
Oh, what we talked about off air?
Yes, that would be it.
Okay. It's not when you say medical crisis, it's like I'm having a medical issue right now.
Roxanne is having a medical episode. It's mental related. No, I'm kidding. All right. So Roxanne has a medical issue.
I'm just curious about this.
Yeah.
I'm just like, is this normal? Is this right?
I think this is a very fair piece of content. I think that a lot of people would like to hear your story. I think we ought to open up the phones and have a discussion on this. Tell me from the beginning where this developed. Roxanne told this to me an hour and a half ago during a break. And she was like, you know what? I don't want to talk about this on the air, but let me run something by you. I'm like, Roxanne, no, we need to talk about this on the air.
I just didn't know if it would be compelling enough, but if you say so.
It is, yes. Tell us exactly what happened and where you are. This was a 2019 event.
Yes.
And now you're having to deal with it in 2024?
Yes. So I had a child in 2019 in December, and it's expensive to have a child, but I reached my deductible, and I was back then, before I had my second child, I was remarkably fiscally responsible in that I budgeted every single thing I did. I knew exactly how much money I was going to spend. And I remember prior to, I was like, okay, what's the cost of this? I got my sheet, boom, 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 all buttoned up. And then I saw one in 2020. That was when the craziness of COVID hit. But I remember seeing one statement that had some various charges and
from the child related.
Yes, from the birth.
From the birth. All right.
And I remember talking to my insurance company, and they're like, "Don't worry," because it wasn't a bill; it was just like the state. They're like, "Don't worry about that. We're, Well,
a lot of times you'll get the medical statement, and it's pending insurance.
Yeah.
And all right, so here we go. Let's just cut to the chase here.
So
you had your kid in December of 19.
Yes. So
and then here we are in January of 2024, and what's happened?
And so actually it was fall. It's been happening, but I just had a discussion about it yesterday. Fall of 2023, I start getting a bill.
So just a couple of months ago.
Yes, and the bill is, and I need to be clear, this is through a collection agency.
Oh, so
yeah,
you've been turned over to a collections agency.
Collections agency.
Wow.
And it's a bill for this birth.
How much?
My child. I think it's like $1,200 maybe.
And so who did you allegedly owe the $1,200 to, who then turned it over to collection?
Well, Morton Plant. And I want to be clear about this.
All right, so the hospital.
Yes.
Did you ever get any bills from the hospital from 2019 when you had the birth, 2020, 2021, 2022? Did you get any bills from the hospital saying that this was owed?
Well, that's what I was telling the collections agent yesterday. I was like, look, I've never even been billed for this. Hearing about it from you is the first time. And I looked through all my emails, and he's like, well, you probably got something in the mail. I was like, okay, well, anyways, my point is this. of course, I want to pay for my services. I had the birth of my child there, but I remember these discussions with my insurance provider about everything being covered. So my next step, I just want to call my insurance provider. I'm guessing what they're probably going to tell me is that's too long ago. But here's my overall question. Is it normal to get billed 3.5 years later for something like this, for like a medical thing? And I vaguely remember bringing this up on the show, like in the fall when it first happened. And I feel like some of our callers and texters were
hold on. What show was this? Because I don't remember doing that.
This show. It was this show. It was quick. It wasn't like in depth like this. It was like quick. Because we were talking about bills in general.
I do not remember.
Yeah, that's okay. I don't remember everything we talked about.
Maybe you slid it in. I just don't remember.
Yeah.
But you know what happened is Morton Plant. Do you remember what were the services they billed? What are they saying? Was it like the delivery room? Was it recovery?
Yeah, it was all that stuff.
All right, so $1,200.
Yeah,
and you never got a bill directly from Morton Plant.
No.
Okay, right there. So somehow this got lost, and then they think they tried to collect, but they didn't because you claim you never got any billing.
Right.
They then sold the debt for pennies on the dollar to a collection agency who's trying to collect from you now. So you have a collection agency that, I think there are different ways. Some agencies will buy the debt for pennies on the dollar, and then they try to collect whatever they can. Or sometimes you have the organizations, they hire a collection agency, and the collection agency, I believe, gets a percentage. I think there are different models. But I think look, phones are already ringing here. Let's go to phones on this. So you heard Roxanne's story. Never got a bill from Morton Plant. Next thing she knows, during the fall, so what, November, December, when?
Yeah, it was last year sometime.
Yeah, so late last year.
And even so I'm looking at this estimate for inpatient services. This was sent pre-baby. It has everything from like cesarean section to, which I didn't, I was regular delivery, showing what I will owe, $0. So I had these conversations with them like, yeah, this is covered because you've.
Let me tell you right now that medical insurance can be a nightmare. Everyone knows this. Let me give out the phone number here. I would love to go to phones. You've heard Roxanne's story. What is your experience? What are your thoughts? Do you have any insight? Roxanne, you want to know if you're responsible. If you've got 4 years later, after never getting an original bill, you essentially want to know, can you tell the bill collector, the collections agency, to go screw off?
Yeah, and the bigger question, too, is, well, if I was told insurance covers all this, why did my insurance not pay the full amount? So there are two ends of this there.
800-990-1047.
And let me be clear. I'm the kind of person, it makes me very uncomfortable to owe someone money.
Yeah, you're not
I receive services.
Right? You're not a deadbeat, right?
Yeah, so I feel like the right thing to do is to take care of this, but I just am like, is this normal practice of business?
So you want people to know that Roxanne Wilder is not a deadbeat.
Yeah, no, I inherently believe in paying for the services
Very good.
Receive.
800-990-1047. Let's go to phones on this. Have you had any nightmares where out of the blue you get bills years and years later? 800-990-1047. Hey, when did I have my kidney treatment, Fester? Do you remember when that was by any chance?
Yeah, that was back in May.
Yeah, so I had kidney stones. I had a 10-millimeter stone busted up with lithotripsy. Guess what? I got notification. We're watching a movie. Michelle and I are we were watching Hijack. So the 7-part series with was it Idris Elba? What's his name?
I missed it.
You know what I'm talking about? The good.
Somebody just told me about how good that show is.
So Hijack is on Apple TV. Now we don't have Apple TV. Well, we sort of do because the kids just got iPhones for Christmas. They got new iPhones, and with the iPhones, like 3 months of Apple TV for free. So we're like binging some of the Apple shows because I don't need to buy any more streaming services. So listen, we're watching Saturday night, like 10 o'clock on Saturday night, and I get an email notification, and I look at it, and it's my latest Aetna statement for Aetna Health Insurance, which is the health insurance provider here at Beasley Media Group. Our company health insurance is through Aetna. I get a statement Saturday night at 10 p.m., the benefits email comes in and check out your latest activity. So I check it out. They finally paid the anesthesiologist from last May.
Oh, wow.
What the hell? And guess
like a
what?
long time.
And they still haven't paid Dr. Malcolm Root. So Aetna Insurance, Aetna, if I got to go to war on this, I will. And I got a big fat mouth on this microphone.
Just let me know.
Well, listen, I have the same insurance company, so let's go to war together.
We all do. But I'm going to tell Aetna right now that you better pay the guy that did the procedure. And here's the bogus BS on this, is that they paid for a lot of the things surrounding. They paid Tampa General. They paid for the OR. They paid for the recovery. And they're denying, they don't want to pay the doctor in the middle who did the procedure, that everything else they paid for wouldn't have even existed if not for the core procedure. That's the garbage that people are dealing with health insurance. So Aetna, pay Dr. Malcolm Root, urologist, for doing the lithotripsy. He did a kick-butt job. He's great. Pay him. They just paid the anesthesiologist Saturday night at 10 p.m. It's Saturday. All right, let's go to phones. All right, so Roxanne, let's see if we can get some answers to your question. Melissa is in Tampa. Melissa, hi. Welcome to the MJ Morning Show.
Hi. Roxanne question.
Hey, Melissa, you're on hands-free, and I know it's safe, but it's tough to understand you. Is there any way you can make yourself a little clearer?
Yes. 1 second.
All right, that would really help out a lot.
I like how you passively asked her
better?
to compromise.
It's 12,000% better. Go ahead, Melissa.
Well, I'm a medical biller, and when you submit a claim to your insurance company, the insurance company you have a X amount of time before they declare it timely, and you have to eat the claim. So Roxanne should have gotten a bill way sooner. And the only way she would have owed money is if there was a high deductible on her insurance plan. And for you, MJ, when you do a procedure at a hospital, usually there's 3 bills, one for the anesthesiologist and one for the hospital and one for the doctor who actually did it.
Yep.
And usually the hospital and the anesthesiologist, their claims get to the insurance company for first. And then when you bill the actual doctor who did the procedure, they deny it as a duplicate claim. So the person, the billers at the office have to call the insurance company and say, hey, this is for their professional fee. You got to pay it. It's separate, blah, 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 blah.
I mean, it's ridiculous that Aetna is paying the bills around, but they want to refuse the actual doctor that did the procedure. It's the most ridiculous thing in the world. The other racket that I've heard that some of these insurance companies, these medical insurance companies, another racket is stretching it out and trying to push you into the next year so your deductible has to reset, which that is criminal, and that ought to be against the law, and I want people to go to jail on that crap.
I agree with you.
Look, thank you, Melissa. Have a great day.
Whoa, somebody's getting fired up.
Yeah, seriously. Okay, now.
Thank you. Shauna's in Pinellas Park. Thank you, Shauna, for calling in. You're on the MJ Morning Show.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, Shauna. Go ahead.
I wanted to say 2 things. The first one is I was in a similar predicament as Roxanne like a year ago. I had my daughter in 2020, and me and my significant other, I had Medicaid, and he had, I'm going to say, I forgot what it was, but too long didn't read. His insurance was supposed to cover for part of her birth, and mine was supposed to cover for part, but his refused to pay for it. So I had both the hospital and the insurance company on three-way, basically being the middleman to have them both talk it out to figure out who's paying for it, and neither of them did.
Huh. And was there any resolution, or it was just like just this quagmire?
No resolution. I called them multiple times and was like, I had you guys on three-way. Why isn't this taken care of? And they were just like, I don't know. It was supposed to be, and we still need the money. And I'm like, well, I mean, take it up with the insurance. That's what they're meant to do.
You know what? Now you know why some people go nuts and they go all falling down and they ram their car through the lobby of the building, you know, of the insurance company. Shauna, thanks for the call. Christina is in St. Pete. Hello, Christina. You're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey there. Let me speaker.
Well, Roxanne, you really spurred a conversation here.
Yeah.
Well,
can you hear me?
Yeah, Christina, go ahead.
Okay. Actually, I work for Baycare, so I can tell you there's a lot of issues with the billing when it comes to insurance companies. You submit the bill to the insurance company. A lot of times they'll dispute it, and it could be a coding error or coding or whatever.
Yep.
So we'll recode it, send it back, then they want to appeal it.
But the insurance company, it seems that they look for every reason to not pay a bill.
That is true. And then then there's authorizations. They'll say, well, they didn't get an authorization. And I can tell you when you get the authorizations, it will tell you that it's not 100% guaranteed. And that's what they put on their little blurb down at the bottom. That's so that they can dispute any bills that go out. I also have
Yeah, because when I went in for my procedure back in May for my lithotripsy, for them to bust up the big kidney stone in my right kidney, Tampa General, man, all they wanted was money. Listen, Tampa General, I had good treatment there. The staff is fantastic, but my God, they called me incessantly. Like the 3 days prior to my procedure, they wanted my credit card. Oh, we need payment. You can't come here without your credit card. I mean, they called me 30 times to get my credit card. So, and then they told me that we have full pre-authorization from your insurance company. Everything is good to go. All you're going to owe is and the dollar amount, and that was it. And then now I got Aetna trying to, not pay the doctor. It's just a mess. The system is so broken, and there needs to be much better legislation and consumer protection.
Absolutely agree. Well, good luck with the bills.
So what should Roxanne do? So obviously Morton Plant turned over this delinquent bill, which Roxanne says she was never billed for. And 4 years later, she's getting a collections agency. What should she do? Tell them to, just go screw off? What do you think?
So actually, I can look into it. She needs to call our billing department, find out what's going on, why it was sent. Because sometimes I found out with Baycare, they will email you. They don't always send the bill out by mail. They'll email it. And if you're not checking your emails all the time, then that's why it probably got sent to collections.
All right, Christina, thanks.
I don't like that.
Thanks.
Thank
and then
you.
The collection agency, all these years later, I'm sure one of your questions is, can they damage my credit all these years later? First of all, I don't give a crap. I don't need credit for anything at this point in my life. Maybe it might affect insurance scores, but my credit is good enough. But I don't give a flying crap.
I think medical debt's viewed differently than like leaving a car note.
Gotcha.
Or we're getting foreclosed on.
Or going all deadbeat on a mortgage on your house or something. Sherry's in a couple more calls on this. Phones have exploded. MJ Morning Show, Q105. Sherry, you're on. Hello.
Yes, hi. Good morning, guys.
Yes.
Roxanne, what I would tell you to do is, follow up first, because I had the same experience with Baycare, and I think they're the worst. Same thing with TGH. And you have to, call the billing department. You have to say who you spoke with. And you should check with your insurance company, because they send out what's called, an explanation of benefits. And they should be able to track that and see if they paid the bill to that Baycare or Morton plant. So I don't know if you talk to the insurance company, and because they show that online. They have, I don't know if you have online access.
Mm-hmm.
And they should show that they paid the hospital bill or whatever. And so there's got to be some documentation or some trail that can help you.
Okay, great.
And Baycare, yes, they are the worst, because they do email you. I had to do the same thing with my husband, and I called 3 to 4 times, and I said to them, look, I'm documenting this. You better not send me to collections.
Right.
And it was 2 years later that they had to follow up and get their money from the insurance company. But there's got to be a trail there with the insurance company, and just, I would start with them.
Right. Okay, that's great information.
Thank you. Appreciate the call, Sherry.
All right.
Thank you.
MJ, and I met you at Mickey's. You guys are great.
You met where? At the sub place?
Yes. My husband and I.
Oh, awesome. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Mickey Subs down in South Tampa, who won the best cheap eats in America on USA Today. I got to go see Mickey again. Great sub down there, right near the whole West Shore yacht thing, just south of Gandy off West Shore. Yeah, Mickey Subs, good stuff. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let me look at the phones here, Roxanne. You've done it, Roxanne.
Because we all get medical care. We all deal with this.
No, we do. No, this is fantastic. Kay is in St. Petersburg. Kay, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Doing fine, Kay. What's the story?
So I have 3 horror stories with insurance. My first one is I had a procedure called a DNC. I'm sure Roxanne knows what that is. At St. Pete General, and my insurance company was supposed to pay it, 100% covered, and it came back. I actually ended up getting a bill from the hospital for $54,000.
Oh my God! Because the insurance company denied it, right?
Well, yeah, and the problem was they were saying that on the paperwork the doctor sent in, it was saying obese, and I didn't get pre-authorization for anything for it.
Gotcha. So it was miscoded, and that's a big problem. Is you have to make sure that everything is coded right, because the insurance companies look for every excuse to not pay. Thank you, Kay. Have a great day.
You too.
All right, Tara. 2 more, Andrew. That's it. And the phones are just nonstop on this. Tara's in Tampa. Oh, this is good advice. I'm looking at the screen. Tara, what should Roxanne do?
I think that she should go and check her Credit Karma and see if it ever hit her credit.
Oh, yeah.
It's in collections.
Yeah, see if your credit was damaged. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you check your credit? You know, you're entitled to a free credit report every year.
Yeah, I check it.
Yes.
I think that's
And
great.
then if it's on there, then she should dispute it. And if not, then I wouldn't worry about it.
It's a great point. Thank you, Tara. Because I don't know if the credit agencies can come back at you as well. You know, you might have gotten dinged by the hospital, but by Morton Plant. But last call on this, Jody in Largo. Jody, final say on this. MJ Morning Show, you're up.
Hi, guys. Marketplace. I got insurance through Marketplace, Florida Blue. Called to see if I could get a better price on my insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Guy convinced me to go with a different insurance. Afterwards, I decided, no, I want to stay with Florida Blue. Called back, got somebody else. They said, oh, that's no problem. They haven't canceled your Florida Blue yet. We'll just cancel the other insurance. Keep using your Florida Blue. The next month, well, in a couple of weeks, I ended up going to have a colonoscopy done.
Oh, Jesus. Don't tell me. So you're using that, but then are they claiming that you were ineligible?
Yeah, I used it for the whole month of May. In June, they notified me, said I wasn't covered.
Oh man! So what? You know that, but they pre-authorize. They check to see if the coverage is there. In most cases, Jody, I'm sorry for that nightmare. Thanks. Best of luck with that. But listen, everybody, this is a visceral issue. This affects like almost everybody. I'm going through it right now, where I'm trying to get the people that did my kidney stone paid, and my insurance company or our insurance. We all have the same corporate insurance. You know, they're dragging their feet out. They're paying bills like, you know, almost a year later. All right. So, Roxanne, I think that was a good discussion.
Yeah, and I got good information, so thank you.
Yeah. All right, 8:43 at the MJ Morning Show. I got a pile of celebrity stuff that I want to hit, like Brad Pitt not showering for days. Nothing to do with his unit getting stuck in Mount Everest, Froggy.
Well, after that happened, you couldn't shower for a while.
I had no idea. Did you know that Jason Priestley of Beverly Hills 90210 days?
Love that guy.
Do you know Jason Priestley was once a roommate with Brad Pitt?
I had no idea.
I saw this for the very first time, but like that's interesting enough that Jason Priestley roomed with Brad Pitt. But no, there's more to the story. He's claiming that Brad Pitt wouldn't shower for days.
Wow.
Ew.
Brad.
What are some stories? I know Keanu Reeves had the kind of the ripe rumor stories, and you know we had a chance to cop a whiff of Keanu Reeves when he came to our radio station back in the mid '90s, and yeah, he wasn't smelling like a cherry blossom. But are there rumors also about Brad Pitt having a musky kind of ripe odor?
I don't know.
I think there's been some stories like that about him.
I think I read once that Angelina Jolie's really into that animalistic type thing.
Well, I did. This is a fact. I read a story about Brad and Angelina back in the day where they were staying at some resort, and I think it was in Africa, and that they were making noises that were like louder than the animals. Like that. That's a fact. I'm not making this up.
Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie?
When they were in their, courtship phase.
Whose blood did she have? Was that
Billy Bob Thornton?
Yeah, Billy Bob. Remember, she had like a vial of Billy Bob Thornton's blood around her neck. Remember
that's hot.
Brad's like, you're gonna have to get rid of that before we get married.
And I told you guys, I always like when she was dating him. Or was she married to Billy or just engaged? I don't know. But anyways, when I would see them together, I'd be like, wow, how's he pulling that? And then I met him in person to do an interview for the Bad News Bears, and I kind of get it.
Leonardo DiCaprio was spotted with a woman. How old? Anybody want to take a guess?
I'm going to guess under 25.
25 is the age.
Yeah, that's his cutoff number.
Yeah, so Brad Pitt is 49. When does he turn 50?
No, he's not.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I said Brad. I said Brad Pitt. Leonardo DiCaprio.
He's going to be 50 this year in November.
All right. So
November
I did say Leonardo DiCaprio first, right?
You did.
Yeah.
I just started Once Upon a Time in Hollywood last night. Fancy you're speaking of this.
Hold on, you started it?
I sure did, Pumpkin Puss.
Dude, Pumpkin Puss. Watch the whole thing in one sitting. Don't chunk it up.
At night,
come on, dude. By the way,
it's really good so far.
I can't believe you haven't seen that. That movie is phenomenal.
I didn't know it had anything to do with the Manson family.
Oh, wait till you see the dog food throw.
Okay, don't ruin
How
it for
far
me.
are you into it?
Wait till you see the can of dog food being thrown. That's one of the best scenes in the movie.
Yeah.
That
About
movie,
30 minutes.
That is fantastic.
It really
Once
is.
Upon a Time in Hollywood is a phenomenal Quentin Tarantino movie.
It's one of those movies after you see it. We can't tell you about the ending, Froggy, but it just like sticks with you.
But also,
right?
what Quentin Tarantino has done, he's taken a real event and
put it into a movie.
Well, but no, it's deeper.
He built a story around it?
He reimagined.
Yeah, that's the word, reimagined.
It's a total reimagination of a historic event involving Charles Manson and
Roman Polanski.
Sharon Tate, Roman Polanski. Exactly. It's totally reimagined. And that movie is incredible. Anyway, so back to, speaking of, Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio.
They're in that movie.
Yeah, exactly. So Leonardo DiCaprio is 49. Oh, he just turned 40.
Remember, he just had a big birthday party.
On November 11th, he'll be 50.
Yeah, so coming up in November, he'll be 50. And, of course, Leonardo DiCaprio, I believe, isn't it? He will not date anybody over the age of 25. So this hot babe that he was spotted with just got in under the 25 radar, man. Or maybe under the 26 radar. Just squeaked in.
So they're just going to have a very quick romance.
Yeah, because when she turns 26, he
phases out.
He kicks her out like termites kicking out their little fecal wood.
How long could this go? Is he going to do it till he's like 60? That's going to get awkward at some point.
For who?
I don't know.
Yeah,
just an old guy dating young girls at some point.
Even seeing him in photos, like in paparazzi photos in nightclubs and stuff, and he's like just his skinny self with cigarettes rolling up on the girls. It kind of looks weird.
Listen, for all I&P here.
What?
For all I&P.
Intensive purposes?
Yes.
So stupid.
What'd you say?
Intensive purposes?
Intensive.
Purposes? I don't care about that.
It's not intensive. For all intents and purposes, let's just call Leonardo DiCaprio 50. That's creepy, man, that he just won't he only dates 22, 23, 24, 25-year-olds. That's obviously he does it because he can, but that's creepy. Because in the real world, even a pretty decent-looking guy, even how many 50-year-old guys are attracting 22, 23, 24-year-olds like a magnet? Come on.
Why are you trying to equate anything to the real world with this guy?
I know. There's You're right. There's nothing real world about it. That's an excellent point. All right, I got a couple of other very fascinating celebrity items. We'll get to that in a bit. Also, coming up at 9:10, the most, I think, interesting story of the day, our 9:10 most must-hear story is, are you sleeping with a psychopath? We'll explain. I don't know what it is, but after I saw this story about sleeping with a psychopath, there are two other additional totally different psychopath stories today. So I don't know what it's like, all clustered. It's like a a psychopath cluster breakout. All right, coming up at 9:10 in the next segment here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. So don't move. So the lyric in the song that Prince sang, you don't have to watch Dynasty to have an attitude. Do you think he was like a closet Dynasty watcher? Or
oh, my God. I love Dynasty.
I never saw Dynasty in my life.
20 million people watching it.
Well, you know, back in the day, like seriously, network TV back in the day, man. You know, hey, early 2000s, you had 33 million people that would watch freaking American Idol in 2006, 2005.
No more.
Yeah, those days are done. They could barely get 4 million people to watch the Emmy Awards on Monday night. An MJ Morning Show on Q105, a little after 9 o'clock, 9:02. The 9:10 Psycho story coming up. Actually, 3 of them. I got some add-ons. Oh, Fester's watching Dynasty clips now on YouTube.
Who shot JR?
Yeah, whatever.
That was Dallas.
Yeah. Oh. What was that?
What's the difference?
Oh, no, the JR was Dallas, dude.
Yeah, this is Joan Collins and Linda Evans.
That same show.
All right. I don't know what's going on here, man, but we got some crazy Florida stories lately. Down in Port Charlotte, you know, our signal, we have listeners down in Port Charlotte. On a good day, we get down there. Deputies have arrested a Northport guy allegedly using someone else's phone. So this guy used somebody else's cell phone and called it a bomb threat to Walmart. Charlotte County Sheriff's Office said about 3 p.m. on January 12th, deputies responded to a threat toward the Walmart on Tamiami in Port Charlotte over a 911 call. Deputies said dispatch got a call from Cody J. Clements, 28 in Northport, and warned there was a bomb in the supermarket. What would possess somebody? Well, they got a bad bag of cuties or something? What? I mean, why would you call it a bomb threat to the Walmart supermarket? When dispatch called him back, the suspect picked up the phone and said, "Tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock, tick." What does he think? He's in some kind of a thriller movie or something?
Is he antagonizing the poor Walmart clerk?
No. Or the cops. 911 called him back.
Oh, I thought he called the store.
No, he called the store. He called it a bomb threat. Then the cops called him back.
The store called him back,
yeah.
right?
No.
The cops, 911 called him back.
Anyway, tick-tock, tick-tock.
Deputies got a call from this Cody guy. He warned there was a bomb in the supermarket. Another report says that he also threatened the Walmart directly. Then dispatch called him back from his call to the deputies or to 911, and they called him back, and they probably said, "Oh, this is 911 emergency center. You just called," and then he's going tick-tock, 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 tick-tock.
This guy's a lunatic.
Yeah, and he hung up. The sheriff's office got in contact with the person who actually owned the phone, who said he accidentally left the cell phone in the Walmart bathroom. So this guy, what, do you think it was funny? He found the phone in the Walmart bathroom? Oh, I found the phone in Walmart. I'm going to go ahead and call in a bomb threat on somebody else's cell phone. It didn't work out too well for this guy, for the guy that found the phone. The owner said he noticed 911 was calling him on his Bluetooth watch, so he pinged the phone to find it. After looking at security video, deputies said they saw Clements in the bathroom at the time of the 911 call. He was found after coming back to the store, and during questioning, the suspect admitted to making the call, saying that he saw a trend on TikTok of people doing the same thing. What a freaking moron. 28 years old, and you're calling in bomb threats because you saw it on TikTok? What a jackass.
I know that I enjoy talking onto cell phones that I find in bathrooms.
How about this maniac up in Pasco? A Tarpon guy involved in some kind of custody battle over a kid threw a 1-year-old out of the window of the house.
Oh.
The baby was caught.
Wow.
Was it O.J. Simpson there? What's
Hopefully not.
He was a running back.
The guy's from Tarpon Springs, charged with custody interference, charged with child endangerment. Pasco County Sheriff's Office said that this maniac threw a 1-year-old baby boy out of the second-story window because of a custody battle fight over the weekend, 5 p.m. Sunday. Investigators say that this 20-year-old Kadram Coleman was in a verbal altercation with apparently the baby mama over the custody of the kid. And during this entanglement, this maniac, Coleman, took the child and threw the kid out of the second-story window of the apartment. Somebody was waiting below who caught the kid. So it sounds like it was somewhat premeditated. But to throw... So the custody battle came to, he was going to take the kid by throwing the 1-year-old out of the window for somebody below to catch, and then, hey, let's get out of here.
He actually screamed, "Catch the kid," as he threw him out the window.
Is this a throw the baby
Oh, he
out?
did? Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
No, that's true. That's in the police report. That he yelled to somebody outside, "Catch the kid," and he throws the 1-year-old out. The kid was caught. What was that, Rox?
I was just going to say, is this a throw the baby out with the bathwater? What does that mean? You ever hear that expression?
Well, if the baby's in the tub and you want to get rid of the bathwater, you don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater.
So it's like, don't,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so it's like overreacting.
Yes.
You know? Coleman then fled the scene, and the child was with him after the person caught him downstairs. Cops caught up with Coleman at his mother's home, and this guy's clearly a maniac. He was arrested on Monday, so they got a hold of him, arrested him on Monday. Interference with child custody, child endangerment, neglect, blah, blah, blah. And last we saw, he was being held in Land O'Lakes at the detention center. So is that not insanity?
At least he gave the person on the ground the heads up.
You know, then, I don't know if you saw this one. I had this a couple of days ago. I just didn't get around to it. But, and I mentioned this yesterday. I just never got to the story, that a person in his neighborhood was so ticked off the drivers were going fast. His answer to taking care of the speeding drivers, throw beer cans and fire an AR-15 at speeding motorists.
Did they slow down?
Listen, this is going to be very problematic for you. I mean, come on. Polk County guy is facing felony charges. He tried to stop fast drivers speeding in his neighborhood. And according to Grady Judd, the Polk County sheriff, he threw a beer can at a vehicle because it was going too fast, confronted the driver, said he was going to get his AR-15 rifle, went into his house, came out with the rifle, and shoots the AR-15 3 times, once in the air and then twice into the ground, according to Grady Judd.
Yeah, that's no good.
What are you thinking? I mean, this is not going to end well for you. This is not going to, you're ticked off at speeding drivers and you're committing felonies, hurling a deadly missile at a car and then firing an AR-15. What are you, nuts? I mean, look at the 3 crazy stories right here in the Tampa Bay area. I mean, it's nonstop. We are like the capital. It goes beyond like Florida or Florida man.
Yeah, the greater Tampa Bay area is the capital of the worst state in the union.
We are the capital of Tallahassee.
Please.
We are the capital of Florida. It's Hillsborough, Pinellas, Pasco, Polk, Charlotte, Lee, Manatee, Sarasota. That's it right here.
I used to have somebody in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
When people would speed through, he would time it to where he would throw a basketball down his driveway. So he'd see the car coming, and he'd throw a basketball.
Oh, so the car would run over or swerve to avoid it?
Or they would screech their brakes, or they would have an overreaction because they think somebody's running out.
Was he pretending to shoot hoops in the driveway and the ball got away?
Nope, he just sat there.
He was just doing a little slow roll?
And he would roll it and bounce it out.
Like a game?
And the drivers would lock their cars up or lock their...
Did a driver ever get out and beat the living crap out of him?
Not that I know of. But he did it a couple times. It's been a couple years now. I've heard that before.
9:10 at the MJ Morning Show. Look at this. I'm spot on. Totally on time.
Must hear.
Yeah, actually, it's 9:11 right now, but that's beside the point. It was close to 9:10. So the question is, this is the 9:10 must-hear story of the day. Got to hear this. Are you sleeping with a psychopath? And we have some warning signs on how to avoid sleeping with a psychopath, right? So one psychologist who deals with neuropsychiatric disorder issues, has the top warning signs that somebody that you are sleeping with, somebody you're very close to, might be a little more than just antisocial. That they could actually be worse than you think. They could be a psychopath. This is an article from Psychology Today, and Kurt Ella talks about people's daily interactions with true psychopaths daily is much greater than what people think.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. He's an associate professor at Georgetown University. Might have heard of that school. I think they possibly could be accredited. Psychopathy, much like sociopathy, is not a recognized psychiatric diagnosis. How's that? The closest mental health professional like Eli can get to the definition is antisocial personality disorder, ASPD. That doesn't mean the same thing as what's your AMS? What is that?
ASMR.
ASMR?
Oh, yeah.
Just remember asthma.
Asthma. Yeah. Common hallmarks of this disorder. So listen to this. So somebody who really could be described as a psychopath, these are some of the indicators. Somebody that regularly ignores the law or intentionally tries to beat the law, flouts the law. Somebody that lies or is into deception, lying, deception, flouting the law, prone to being very aggressive, not having any remorse or guilt for anything. Those are signs that you're dealing with, and in some cases, maybe sleeping with a psychopath. Can go both ways, could be female, could be male. I'm thinking there are probably more males, but I might be wrong. But another common trait that is written in the psychology article is career choice. Psychopaths are drawn to professions that require a strong degree of detachment, like civil servants, surgeons, lawyers, and CEOs have a higher rate of being psychopaths. How about that?
I thought this was going to be like a jokey type of segment, like, oh, you drink your coffee without sugar or cream.
Nope, we're talking about real psychos.
Right. And then, there are some numbers, actually, that if you look at the universe of men and women, it is believed, according to the American Psychological Association, that's the APA, they say that approximately 1.2% of men are considered psychopathic, and only 0.3 to 0.7% of women have enough of those traits to qualify to be a psychopath. So, yeah, men, by the numbers, apparently more men are psychopaths than women.
I just found something interesting. I've heard people throw this term around before. Have you heard of the dark triad?
Oh, yeah.
For real, you have?
Yeah, that's in North Carolina.
No, it's a personality.
Yeah, it's Durham.
No,
I've heard Durham.
Triangle.
Raleigh, Durham.
No.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's narcissism, Machiavellianism. I can't say that
Machiavellianism.
word. Yes, and that's where the end justifies the means.
Yes.
And psychopathy.
I was once at Machiavelli's tomb.
Were you?
I was. Oh. It's in Birmingham, Alabama. No, in Italy. All right, go ahead.
So when you have all three of those,
what?
When you have all three of those, you're called it's called the dark triad, and there's the dark tetrad, which incorporates sadism as well. And they found that internet trolls have dark triad personalities. That's interesting.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of internet trolls, I'm not going to get to this today, but I want to spend some time talking about these maniacs that just get off on leaving bad reviews online. Do you know about this?
We did we talk a little about it recently?
I think we've mentioned it in
Danced
various
around it, yeah.
Just in various capacities over the years. We've talked about it, but there are people that they get off on just leaving awful reviews online. You know, if you like, I leave Google reviews. I do it anonymous. You know, so people don't like my full name is not attached to it. But I have out of like 100 reviews, I have like one bad review. I tend to only leave when place is great. I leave a good review.
You mean to tell me you have an alias name where you left 100 reviews?
No. It's under my initials, but it's not like my full name. But I do leave reviews. I'm not a rampant review leaver, but we'll deal with this tomorrow because there are people that just get a thrill out of like just screwing places up and leaving bad reviews, which kind of sucks. All right, so I mentioned that I had a couple of other psychopathic stories. So that was the first one. Are you sleeping with a psychopath? How about this one? If you like these bitter foods, you could be a psychopath. That people that like these types of foods, according to research, have more indications or possibilities of being a psychopath. So 90% dark chocolate. Ooh. If you like really bitter dark chocolate, that is a trait of a psychopath.
Okay.
Gin.
You know, I've never had gin.
Yeah, I'm not a gin drinker. I've never really had gin either, so clearly I'm not a psychopath. But gin and tonic, that's an indicator. Black coffee. So if you drink your coffee totally black.
That's what I said a moment ago.
Yeah. Yep.
You should drink it with gin.
And dark chocolate. Those bitter foods, according to research, more people with psychopathic behavior like bitter foods, like what I just listed. Then, finally, last psychopath story. I told you about like a trifecta of psycho here. There's a physical trait. So a psychopath tends to have this physical indication. Do you know what it is?
They have Edward Scissorhands.
No.
They have Freddy Krueger nails.
Do you? Why are you guessing the hands?
Because you're doing like hand motions in my face.
Yes, I am. All right, so I am giving you a clue. No.
They have small hands.
Researchers.
They have Denise hands.
What?
Denise hands.
No. And I do need. Where's my Denise's?
I don't know. We need that for every small.
Yeah,
hand,
yes,
right?
we absolutely. We have absolutely.
Yeah, we do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so this physical hand trait, do you know what it is? Researchers in Canada, they have analyzed the finger lengths of volunteers who have been clinically diagnosed with psychiatric issues, and psychopaths apparently are more prone to have an index finger that is shorter than the ring finger. And also, I remember years ago there was something about like guys' unit size and when one finger is bigger or smaller than the other. Anyway, as far as psychopaths go, index fingers. So the index finger being shorter than the ring finger. All right, so help me out with my fingers here.
Okay, index finger is...
we got the thumb. Index finger is the first
Pointer.
one next to the thumb. So index finger is your pointer finger.
Right.
Okay. Then you've got the middle finger.
Right.
Then you have the ring finger. And then you have the pinky. All right, so let's the analysis is that more psychopaths, if your index finger is shorter than the ring finger. Oh, no.
But I have to tell you something very important, MJ.
Well, my index finger is...
No,
yeah.
it might not be.
What?
It depends how you look at it. Do you look at it this way? Look. This way?
It doesn't...
What's this way?
Yes, it does.
Describe it.
It doesn't matter. The fingers... Roxanne...
No.
The fingers are still
Hold
the
on.
same.
No. Wait, are you saying if you palm out or palm in,
Mine changes.
your fingers don't switch places?
Well, look, when I'm looking at them palm up, my pointers are longer than my ring fingers. When I look at them palm down, they're more even.
It's the same. The bones don't change when you shift your up and down.
Another sign of being a psychopath is thinking your fingers change length when you flip your hands back and forth. That's actually something that the Canadian scientists missed.
Oh, no.
We've proven it true here.
Uh-oh. So my index finger is shorter than my ring finger.
Mine too.
My ring finger is almost as long as my middle finger. Maybe I should start flipping people off with my ring finger. MJ TV!
Go ring yourself.
So I hope Michelle's not listening. I could be a true psychopath over
just
here.
outed yourself.
Yeah.
She's known for a while.
Oh, get out of here.
Silly.
All right, 9:22 at the MJ Morning Show. Final chunk of the MJ Morning Show is next, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, man, whenever I do a commercial for the Cake Girl, my mouth starts to water. I am so thrilled to have the Cake Girl on board because I've seen her. This yesterday afternoon, and it kind of made my skin crawl. I'll get to that here in just a moment. I mentioned I had a couple of additional celebrity things I wanted to get into, and I thought this was interesting. Emma Stone, the actress. You're not supposed to say actress anymore. You're supposed to say actor, right? Isn't I think it's like politically incorrect now. You got to. It's like just actor, and that's fine with me. So Emma Stone, who I like, I think she's very talented. She claims that she applies every June to compete on Jeopardy, but she has no interest in doing Celebrity Jeopardy.
Oh, she thinks she's real good, huh?
Oh, she just wants to get on like a normal person.
Is she supposed to be one of these actresses or actors who has a genius IQ or something? Is that one? Is she like a Mensa member or something?
Like that Blossom girl?
The one who hosted Jeopardy?
Not anymore.
But isn't that somewhat?
Hosted?
Hang on, we'll get to that in a second. But isn't that kind of sexist? Mensa? Should there be a womanza?
Womanza.
Yeah, a womanza.
I think there are a handful of actors who are genius level. I mean, when they make it to that, especially the ones we know of, when they make it to that level of success, they're probably pretty smart, either business acumen or
I think Tony Danza.
I think Tony Danza is incredibly smart.
Yeah,
it's true.
I'll have white Vans for 200 there, Ken.
So, hey, Tony Danza, are you a genius?
Yeah, I've been known to know a thing or two about a thing or two,
What's your IQ, Tony Danza?
72.
You know what Tony knows about? Angela.
I know about Mona. I know about little Jonathan. I know about housekeeping. I'm a nanny.
What about Al Pacino? You think Al Pacino's a genius?
Ah, yes. Glengarry.
Yeah, so Emma Stone.
Glengarry. His worst movie role.
Yeah. So she was, I guess, doing an interview, and she said she applies to be on Jeopardy every single year. And what's her name? What was her name?
Mayim Bialik.
Thank you. I can't say. What is it?
Mayim Bialik.
And she was Blossom, right?
She was. And she was on a bunch of hit shows, and she's
Big Bang Theory.
She that just called me Cat, which I think I canceled during the pandemic or something. I don't know, but or during the strike. She was a host for a couple of years, and her and Ken Jennings kind of split duties. And I guess in the last couple of months, she stepped away from that role. So now it's all Ken Jennings all the time.
Yeah, well, is there a little controversy on why Bialik? What's her name?
Mayim Bialik.
Right. Isn't there some kind of controversy on why she stepped away?
Yes.
But did they fire her or
no? Nothing. I don't think it went out bad.
But Blossom was on what network?
Was it NBC?
100% right. So I just thought that was interesting. But she doesn't want to do Celebrity Jeopardy. She wants to be on regular Jeopardy.
I don't know if Emma Stone is a genius as much as she's just being uppity about it, because Celebrity Jeopardy is a dumb content. Anybody can get that one.
They dumb it down.
Jelly Roll, the rapper turned country sensation. My only bring Jelly Roll.
Is that your impression of Jelly Roll?
And I only pray to God when I need a bird.
All right, now hang on.
Who the hell am I? Who the hell?
All right, can I get a word in here?
That is really good.
Thank you.
So Jelly Roll apparently is training to run a 5K. I mean, that could kill the dude. I know he's only like 39 years old, but
good for him. He's getting healthy.
But is Jelly Roll in any position to run a 5K?
Well,
they have to reinforce the street.
Yeah, first of all, he's not running it tomorrow. I think the 5K is in May, so he has several months to train for it.
Oh man!
And I saw him put a video up on social media that he was talking to somebody who inspired him to do it. He's like, "I'm going to do it," and I'm like, "Good on you, fat boy."
I mean, he's like 450 pounds. How's he going to do that?
I don't know how. Listen, I encourage anyone to get physically fit. I encourage anyone to improve their physical condition. I think it's a great goal. But if he is intending to run a 5K in May, and he's he just looks unhealthy. I mean, just in a standing, non-active position, he looks like he's about to croak.
Man, tough on the guy.
I guess he somebody I don't know how it came about, but I saw that he made a social media post and he said that he's going to start training for it.
Is this the video you found?
I think so.
All right, hold on, bring up the video. All right, roll it. Here we go.
Take this off here.
All right, hit play.
Yeah, baby. This message is for Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura. I was on the Full Send podcast this week, and Cal from the Nelk Boys convinced me, sorry about this, I've been playing with my dog, that I could make it to the 5K by May if I dedicated myself to it. I believe him. I believe in myself. Bert, I love you, Bubba. Tom, I don't know you, but I love you too and can't wait to meet you. I'll be there, baby. I'm in the woods walking every morning. 5K by May, baby.
Well, hold
5K by May. I'm in, Bert. I'm in, Bert.
So he's talking about Bert Kreischer, who was just announced as the Grand Marshal for the 2024 Gasparilla Parade here in Tampa.
That's cool.
Yeah, Kreischer's a St. Pete boy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, look at that. But, I mean, he's just walking, and it looks like he's in, like, a medical crisis. Seriously, Jelly Roll is just walking, and he looks like he's about to go into cardiac arrest.
Listen, that's the first day of training for somebody who doesn't train much.
I want you, Fester, to make a pledge right now that you're going to do a 10K.
Listen, I'll eat 10 Jelly Rolls in May, okay?
Well, you had 10.
You'll be sick if you do that.
How many of those Krispy Kremes did you smash together?
I think 10 of them. Yeah, 10. It was a bunch. It was a bunch. I think almost.
Anyway, listen, good luck, Jelly Roll. I hope you do it, and I hope you don't drop dead. Meghan Markle, the royal wrecker, right? That's kind of her nickname, right? Meghan Markle, the royal wrecker, is joining Suits as a is it her character? I guess it's her character that
she was on that show for several seasons.
She was, but they're rebooting Suits.
So I've never seen Suits, but a bunch of people say it's a great show.
Yeah, Michelle and the kids. Oh, let me see if Michelle will pick up. It's kind of late. She might actually be awake.
I've never even heard of the dumb show.
Yeah, Suits. What did it run like on the CW or something? Or what network did that run on originally? But I know that Michelle and I think it's Julian. Man, they've been watching that for months.
Hello.
Hey, Michelle.
Yes.
My lovely wife, Michelle.
Yes.
Suits, are you watching that with Julian or Chloe?
Julian.
All right. So what caused, and the reason why I'm bringing, are you listening to the show?
Yeah.
You can say no.
What was I just talking about?
Suits.
No, obviously, but what in regard to Suits was I just talking about?
That there's a reboot?
Yes, but even more specifically...
That Meghan Markle is joining the reboot?
Okay, I guess you are listening. All right, so what are your thoughts on this? And she is the Royal Wrecker. That's her official nickname, right?
Oh yeah, she's a real wrecker. She's not essential to the storyline, actually. Julie and I have decided, even before all of this, we were watching it, we were getting into it, and we were like, she's kind of the disposable character on the show. We love everybody else on the show.
So you're really into Suits. I know that I've seen it.
Yeah, it's so good. The dialogue is so good. It's very clever and witty.
Ew.
Then you actually, if there are adults who are drinking age and watch it, you can come up with one of the lines that they use a lot. Like it's always, "I'll be back once I take care of this. I have to go. I'll see you later." Like there's a couple of lines that they just use like all the time because they're almost never in the office.
"I'll be back after I take care of this." That's a line.
Like
sounds
that,
very creative.
Like because they never are really like in their office doing legal work. They're always like hustling about taking care of these legal problems like in a very non-legally kind of way, right?
They ought to take like Meghan Markle's real life royal wrecking and somehow apply that to the reboot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe she could wreck the whole law office or something.
I think it was called a documentary that they did on Netflix or something.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
So are you going to watch the reboot? Where's the reboot going to be anyway?
You know what? I probably will watch the reboot because one of the main characters who was on Suits left, like in mid-season. Series on the show, and now she's going to rejoin the reboot, and she's one of mine and Julian's favorite characters. We really like her. We were kind of sad to see her go.
All right, so Markle appeared as paralegal Rachel Zane for 7 seasons of as USA Network had Suits from 2011 until mid-2018. Now, how far along are you on the streaming?
I think we're like on. Wait, how many seasons?
7 seasons.
7 seasons?
Yeah.
Oh, we're like on maybe season 6, season 5, end of season 5. We're coming up to the end. We just started watching it over Christmas. Last Christmas, we started watching it. It's easy to binge watch, and then once you get into it, the storylines are really just they're fun. It's just fun to watch.
Oh, that's right. We were up in Whistler in Canada when you guys started watching that.
Yeah.
Not this Christmas, the previous one.
Right. You know what happened is I'd never seen it. You heard all about it with her and all this drama. And so Julian, I don't know why he put it on. And when we started watching it, I was like, oh, just leave this on. And so then we got into it. And, once you're hooked, you're hooked.
She apparently made, during the original run, Meghan Markle made
$500,000 an episode.
How do you know this?
Made what?
$47,000 an episode.
Yeah.
He's a better...
She made $424,000 a season. Is what she. So are they going to pay her more? I mean, she kind of has.
Well, this is kind of the debate now, right? Because everybody thinks like, that everybody's watching it because of her, but we weren't really watching it because of her because everybody else is so good in their roles on that show, and so. Can she command more now than everybody else, or should they sort of friends it and everybody should like get the same? Or if she gets too demanding, then she's gonna, become not essential to the program.
Because Suits, and I've only seen bits and pieces while you guys have been binge watching. I don't think I've ever seen a whole episode, but the show Suits has become more popular in the Netflix streaming of the original run than it ever was when it was on TV.
Yeah. And it's not because of her, I guarantee you. That,
Who's the guy that looks like a little chipmunk? Louis?
Oh, Louis.
Oh, Louis.
We love his character. He's so good in that role. Yeah. And I just laugh every time he's
like a smarmy. What was he? Was he in Billions as well?
He was. He's been in a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
I think he was in Billions. I think he might have even been in Tulsa King. He might have had a small. I forget now.
All right, Smarty Pants. So you were able to rattle off Meghan Markle's original salary per episode for Suits. Did you hear how much Lindsay Lohan scored? Is it Lohan or Lohan? Lindsay. I think I've heard Lindsay Lohan.
I think it's Lohan.
Lohan.
I think it's Lohan.
Do you know how much she made for the quick little cameo for Mean Girls, the musical?
No, but that's supposed to be awful. That's why I wouldn't read a thing about it.
According to Variety, Lohan made $500,000 for her very fast appearance in Mean Girls, the musical, which I guess it's a Tina Fey film, and it's supposed to be terrible.
Yeah, that's what I read. It's terrible.
Good for her.
Is it all scarred up like the side of her face where she got bitten by a raccoon?
Oh, no.
Just ask it.
Cool.
All right. Listen, she's a comedian. She would appreciate that joke.
Sure.
All right, Michelle, let me let you do what you got to do.
I'm going to go eat breakfast now.
Well, you want to wait for me and we can have breakfast together?
Oh, no. Eat it by yourself.
No, because you don't eat what I eat, so.
Good choice.
Or what about breakfast at Tiffany's at International Plaza?
Yeah, I'll
Tell you
take
what,
that any day.
why don't we just go grab some Egg McMuffins and just sit on the floor in Tiffany's?
Have a little picnic at Tiffany's.
And I said, what about breakfast at Tiffany's?
Gotta stop singing.
Are you buying?
Yeah, exactly.
That would be funny though. Just bring some breakfast food to Tiffany's.
That's what I'm saying. That's what we ought to do. We ought to
So
just
dumb.
We ought to just bring like hot cakes and sausages and Egg McMuffins and sausage biscuits and just bring a folding table and a chair and just have breakfast in the middle of Tiffany's at International Plaza. And then we can sing. And I said, what about breakfast at Tiffany's?
I'm sure they would love that.
I wonder if anyone's ever done that. I
don't know.
We ought to do that and just shoot it and get some video hits. We ought to do a viral.
I'm so glad you just said that. It's
Yeah.
my dad's birthday, and we used to always go to Tiffany's together.
Really?
Yeah.
What about
Breakfast at Tiffany, she said, I think I remember the
Today's your dad's birthday. Are you gonna
And
get?
look at that. And so then Tiffany's got mentioned. Roxanne,
Yeah.
it's like a sign.
I
Look at
know.
that. Are you you're a little emotional today? Maybe.
I mean, it's been a long time, but I'm
Yeah.
always emotional. It never gets old. Missing your parents.
Well, that's nice. So I'm glad
Thank you for being the conduit to bring that good memory up.
You had to hear him sing, okay?
You had to hear me butcher breakfast at Tiffany's.
You make a good conduit.
Yeah.
What's the name of that band? Code Blue or something? Or
Deep
Blue something? Deep Blue something.
Was that it?
Code Blue something. I don't know.
You know how I knew
Code Blue, you know.
When that song was a hit, I used to run Casey Kasem's at the old radio station, and I watched it go up and down the charts.
Really?
And Deep Blue Something was it, yeah.
Hi, I'm Casey Kasem.
Oh, God.
And let me tell you a little story about Fester. When he was working at 93.3, he used to run the Casey Kasem countdown on the weekends, and one morning he fell asleep.
I did.
And there was dead air for 2 hours.
Dude, you want to talk about the time I played Mix 96 on the station for an hour and a half?
This is the last time you ran a board.
That was the last time I touched any equipment. I had the wrong radio station on 93.3. I had Mix 96 on for an hour and a half.
Oh, man.
Kramer had to come back from downtown to tell me, hey, what the hell are you doing? I'm like, what? Because you're playing the wrong station.
Michelle, I'll see you later.
See you in a little bit.
I'm on the way home. Goodbye. All right. Hey, before we get out of here, let's give away some concert tickets. Chicago and Earth, Wind, and Fire, Friday, August 16th at the Mid-Florida Credit Union Amphitheater. If you're caller number 28, caller 28 right now, 800-990-1047, you will win some tickets for Chicago and Earth, Wind, and Fire. Caller 28, 800-990-1047. Good luck from the MJ Morning Show. All right, that's gonna do it. We'll call it a day.
I got a question.
Yes.
yeah.
Do you think it would be a news story if this Kelsey guy was retiring? Do you think it would be a big story if his brother wasn't dating Taylor Swift? Because it's on the Today Show.
It's a bigger story because of what they've done in pop culture lately, but this is a pretty good ball player.
Yeah.
I heard he stinks.
No, he's pretty.
Well, not a real way to go out with the Philadelphia Eagles collapsing.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm tired
Anyway,
of it.
also congratulations to Baker Mayfield. We mentioned first thing this morning, he grabbed an extra $250,000 with the win on Monday night. And then if he wins again this weekend, which is going to be a tough slog against the Lions, but if he wins again, he'll grab another $250,000 if he can bring the Bucs to victory on Sunday up in Detroit. I might head up for that game.
For real?
Sure.
Yeah.
No, he's not.
Not for the football, for a good slice of Detroit pizza.
Bushimi's.
Yeah.
Oh, Detroit has the best pizza.
Get an Airbnb on
listen,
8 Mile.
it's different. So
It
you know,
is good.
for me, pizza is the New York slice or a great Neapolitan pizza. I love Detroit pizza, and who does a great Detroit slice is known as Slice House. They've got a really good DJ. They do it in the blue pan and everything. It's pretty authentic. All right, folks, we got to roll. Hey, speaking of pizza, we got to get Sardo in. Fester, can you get hold of Sardo?
Yeah.
Why don't we get Sardo's pizza in here tomorrow? Feed the crew.
Why don't we?
All right. 9:48 at the MJ Morning Show. We're done. We'll see you back here tomorrow on Q105, and let's be careful out there.
Download the app now.
Get the Q105 app and listen to us anywhere. Powered by Anna Jar Levine.